Lots of Seahawks coming your way, starting with Mariners. I want to end with everything we liked on offense. I got to start with Kirby. He for a second consecutive outing, didn't give up obviously nearly as many runs this time around, 7 earned runs last time, but he was getting hit hard. He walked a couple guys. One of those runners scored. It just was another consecutive day where I didn't leave feeling super confident about your starter.
No, it feels like everyone's taking their turn giving us this feeling this year. At some point, we're looking at everyone sideways. Look at Logan sideways one time, Castillo a couple of times, Miller. This is the circle of life, I guess, when it comes to this rotation this year. And you're right, he got hit hard. Ex-velo 110, 108, 104, 103, 102, 101, 100. Only 3 Ks his last 2 starts. So something isn't right. But I'm concerned. I'm not panicking.
Okay.
I think that I'm going to send him good vibes because for this team to do what we want them to do, he's got to be on point. Like, he just has to be on point. But every starter in this rotation has had their moment this year, and over the past, maybe month or so, it's been Kirby.
Yeah, I think with Kirby, and we've talked about this before, led the league in hits allowed last year. And I just wonder, this is where it'd be good to, maybe talk later today with Jordan Shusterman, who's joining us in under an hour. Hey, does he need to get guys to chase more? Like, he's constantly trying to pitch inside the zone, right? It's why he doesn't walk a lot of guys. But, should he be doing something different? I don't know. That's an analyst question. So we'll have Jordan joining us and figure out whether or not Kirby can kind of turn this thing around moving forward. But, I think it's important to continue to focus on, the other day, Jeff Passan saying he had to answer the Mariners win the AL West if. Immediately went to the pitching. Curtis and I were both like, yeah, totally. I'm going to guess you feel the same, Bump.
Yeah, because you're looking at the bats, and they're doing enough to win these ball games. They're hitting bombs when bombs needed to be hit. Arozarena comes up clutch, erases, a 2-run lead at the time, I believe, 2 or 3-run lead at the time. You got Naylor, who's been hot. I know Julio didn't have the greatest day yesterday, but as of late, he's been doing this thing. The bats are competitive right now. You just need these arms to limit the runs. And, you give up 3 yesterday, and you just didn't like the way it felt. You gave up 3, but it wasn't an impressive performance by your ace on the mound. So, not your ace, your starter on the mound.
Yeah.
So, I think that is the concern. The bats, I don't think we're worried about as of late.
No, and let's talk about those bats. Randy Arozarena with a 3-run bomb.
Looks at second, the pitch. Swung on. That is crushed. It's going to go. How far? It's just short of the upper deck. Goodbye, Randy Arozarena. A 3-run blast. Demolished. And with one swing, the Mariners have the lead. It is 3-2. Number 27 for Randy. No doubt.
Man, when Randy is going, this lineup, and we'll get to Josh Naylor, but this lineup just felt, it was much like yesterday, where at first they're not, other Cardinals get the lead. Mariners initially are not getting many hits or just not doing much. And much like yesterday when Randy got the first hit, Randy this time broke it open, putting their first runs on the board.
Only problem I have with that is Goldie played with my heart a little bit. Because I was taking my kids to practice at the time.
Yeah.
And he's, it's gone, just short. I'm like, what? Of the upper deck. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, man, don't play with my heart like that. I thought it was gone, But no, it was clutch. And Randy and Curtis put this in our show email. Like, what do you do with Randy? What do you do with Naylor? It's hard not to kind of look towards the future when you're looking at this team, because you see the potential, you see what they're doing this year, the possibility. You're only a game behind the Astros now. Crazy what a couple weeks can do for you. And the fantasy football GM in me just wants to build and retain and do all that stuff. So it's fun to watch it go down, but it also brings up a lot of questions. Like, all right, what do you do after this?
Well, let's talk about a few of them right now, because I'm not going to dive into what I think a contract for, let's say, Josh Naylor would look like. What I do know is I'm becoming more and more hopeful that they're able to retain him. Now, he's set to hit free agency, and we know that Josh Naylor is going to want to explore free agency. Interesting about him is he's got, how many stolen bases this year, Curtis?
25.
25?
25.
Okay, Bumps. Yeah, thank you. 25. That's a career high by a lot. I think more than doubles his next closest total. So, that's going to maybe skew a little bit of the kind of contract he can offer. I know we typically look at the Mariners as they're going to have the hardest time getting free agents. It's not like people are jumping over each other, trying to scramble here and sign here. But, like, what if Josh Naylor has a really great experience here? What if the Mariners get to the playoffs? And what if Josh Naylor's a big part of that? I don't know. I think it makes him more expensive.
Yeah.
But Bump, to me, and you've talked about this before, you said the more you start winning, the more guys enjoy those experiences and talk about those experiences with other people.
Yeah, it's about creating an environment that players want to be in. And from what we see and what I guess we hear, we're not in the clubhouse. We don't have the access that some people have. It sounds like these guys genuinely like each other. And if you're able to create an environment where guys like each other and they're winning ball games, they're more likely to stay. And you heard the way Josh talks about T-Mobile Park, too. He likes hitting at T-Mobile. I've never heard anyone say that in their life, but he likes hitting there. There are some things that need to happen, but at the end of the day, it comes down to money. Like, are you going to be able to offer enough to make him want to stay? He's going to be valuable. He's shown to be one of the best moves made at the trade deadline across the whole league. So there's a few factors that go in. There's environment. There's his play. But it all comes down to money. Are you going to have enough or offer enough to make him want to stay?
I think that if the Mariners get to the playoffs, and frankly they should, it's going to be wildly disappointing if they don't make it. Like, it's not going to be a surprise if they do, and it shouldn't be. Like, they should make it. TBD. They got to actually get there. But I think that with every, let's say, playoff appearance, as you start to round out your roster, you need to keep as many of the pieces that work as possible. I think it would be, I don't want to say malpractice. It would be heartbreaking if this team were not able to keep at least one of those two.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you enter into winter with the same questions you had, going, well, how do you round this thing out? Like, what are you going to do? It's turn to prospects to work out? That doesn't always work. Look at Jared Kelenic.
Yeah, retention is huge.
Yeah, and so if you're going to be a team that turns to trades rather than free agency, like you said, these are two trades that worked out. So what now? You can't just continually flip trades all the time. If you find someone that's a great fit, clubhouse fit, fits with your play, fits with your park, do what you can.
Well, that's what the good ball teams do, right? You find your guys and you keep them for 3, 4, 5 years, especially in their prime when they're playing some good ball, and build around them. There are always going to be some pieces that come and go, right? You're not going to have 1 through 9 solid. Your 5-man rotation solid. No one's going to leave the bullpens good. No, this is there's something called father time that changes the way a person performs. But the good ball clubs typically have 4, 5, 6 guys that you can count on being there for the next 4 to 5 years. So hopefully the Mariners are entering that part of their life where they can count on keeping some of these guys.
Well, and some of these guys are important for culture, too. You want to talk about, and Bump, you know this, you've been in a locker room, like, you need culture guys, and you need guys that you respect, that other players look at and go, that guy's got that dog in him. And Julio thinks that about Josh Naylor.
He's a competitor, man. Like, he just go out there to do everything he can to, like, help us win the game, man. Something that I respect, like, from him a lot, and, I'm really happy he's on our side, and he's competing for us, too. Like, he just brings it every day. You know what you're going to get out of him. And, he's a dog, for real, though.
You can tell simply from the bat flip that he's a dog, Bump.
Yeah, he is. And his intensity is something that this team has needed.
Yes.
It's weird because you look at his body language and his demeanor, and he's intense. But then you hear him talk, and he's calm at the same time. Like, there's a perfect mix, I think, when you look at Josh Naylor, the person on the diamond, and then you listen to him speak after the game. So yes, I think he's vital. He's crucial, and he knows that, though, and that's going to help him when it comes to leverage, when it comes to negotiations this offseason.
Josh talking about how awesome fans have been to him here in Seattle.
I mean, the fans here are awesome. Even Contreras at first, he's like, oh, how's it going? But we just had a quick little conversation. He goes, man, this place is electric. And I'm like, yeah, it honestly really is. The fans get so excited. They get pumped up in big moments. It's kind of unexplainable. It's super cool to be a part of. Sometimes you kind of feel like the ground shaking a bit because it's so loud. Sometimes you can't hear your own thoughts because it's so loud. And that's what you want. That's what you want to play in. I'm very, very grateful. I'm very thankful for this fan base. They're super awesome, super cool. It's been awesome so far.
But maybe it's because dingers are fun. But my big picture takeaway from this game, even though starting pitching is going to be make or break for you was probably more excitement or intrigue by the offense than it was leaving this game, maybe because it's a win, feeling worried about Kirby. What about you?
No, because I think Kirby's had more good outings than not.
He's on a good stretch.
Yeah, it's easy to to be a victim of the moment the last couple outings.
Yeah.
And I think 3 of his last 7 haven't been the greatest. But man, me as a former athlete, I realize that there are going to be bad days. And when you play as many games as you do in baseball, you're going to have a handful of bad days. And then you look at the bats, right? They've been so clutch with the bombs that they've been hitting. I know it's not the brand of baseball that, some people want to see, where you're getting on base, you're driving guys in. I believe they were still like 2 for 8 with runners in score position yesterday. But they're not going to change their stripes at this point of the year. 20 games left or something like that. They are who they are. So as long as they continue to be that, then I'm okay. Hit bombs, be clutch, I get you. The thing that can improve or that can change a bit, I think, are the guys on the mound, because they have more opportunities. You're throwing 80 to 100 pitches a game. It's easier for you to get in and get out of grooves. So I think the bats are who they are. The arms on the mound need needs to be tweaked a little bit, especially Kirby, but I'm still holding out some hope.
I'm with you. And if we're looking at the arms and if we're looking at the opportunities that lie ahead for them, absolutely, the pressure's on and you're kind of fingers crossed. You and I both don't feel quite the confidence we did last year, but more games than not are at home for the rest of the season. I think like 11 of 17 remaining or something like that. And not only that, but you naturally think, oh God, what is Kirby's day yesterday? Again, only 2 runs. What does that look like against, like, I don't know, the Yankees? Or what does that look like again? Like just a better offense? Well, you don't have to play him. You got the Rockies still on your schedule. Yes, you have Houston still on your schedule and the Dodgers to round out the season, but you've got a series coming up against the A's. I know they've had your number, but they're not some elite offense either. Like, you've got opportunities. You don't need to play the best teams in the American League. You just need to play your best baseball in your home park to try to get this thing done.
And they've played great baseball in their home park. Since the All-Star break, they have the best home record in all of baseball. So just keep that rolling. It's weird. Just be who you've been and sprinkle in some uncharacteristic type deals, like playing well on the road and having all 5 of your starters hit at the same time. So this is going to be interesting. Same old Mariners. It's a different Mariners team, but it's the same old situation to where you're counting down the days.
Just nervous.
You're looking at the standings. What are the Astros doing? Take a peek at the Rangers. This is the stress of being a Mariners fan.
Oh, I saw the Phillies yesterday clinch the NL East, and you're just like, God.
What does that feel like?
What's that feel like to be like, you've got 2.5 weeks left, 3 weeks left of September, and you just don't have to worry about it.
So they're celebrating already. T-shirts out already, hats,
I guess.
Champagne.
Yeah.
We still got a bunch of baseball left.
Still got to try to get, I don't know if they're a top seed right now. I haven't looked quite as closely at the National League standings for obvious reasons, but I saw that and I was like, man, that's cool. Hey, speaking of, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, Jalen Carter was fined $57,000 for spitting on Dak Prescott, but he will not be suspended for the Eagles' Week 2 game against the Chiefs. What's the real headline?
If you spit, you can't acquit.
How is he not suspended for a game? At least one game.
They counted his time missed in Week 1 as a suspension.
So,
that's stupid.
Bump,
yeah.
You're going to disagree with me because I said yesterday I don't know that I feel strongly that he should get suspended.
Man, you should be suspended.
This isn't like a second offense.
I don't care. That is so disrespectful. Spitting at another man. I don't care when you did it. You get thrown out of that game, and then you get punished for the next game. He got off light, in my opinion. That is disgusting. It's disrespectful. And then everyone who's saying, oh, well, Dak did it first. Dak was like 8 yards away from that man.
Different.
And just spit on the ground in front of him. I get it's posturing, definitely.
Yeah,
he's challenging him, but he's not spitting on him. That's ridiculous, man. Jalen Carter, good football player. Character, that's another thing.
There's nothing wrong, or nor does it violate any kind of code, spitting on the ground and staring a dude down.
No.
The entire point of football, no, I mean, there's other points of football, but like try to get into someone's head, try to intimidate someone, try to mess with them. Like that's going to be part of it.
Yeah.
I saw the same thing yesterday. Someone texted in saying Dak did it first, and I was like, no, he did not. This was very different.
Very different.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Blue Jays walked off the Astros for a 4-3 win on Tuesday. What's the real headline?
As we've always said here in Seattle, thank God for the Blue Jays and their fans.
I love those people.
We've always been huge fans of the Blue Jays and fans.
Go Jays, as I always say.
I've always said, when they take over the town and become so obnoxious, I'm grateful, you know? Like, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for your service.
Blue Jays fans got issues, man, because they'll be the nicest people in the world, and as soon as first pitch goes down, they transform into something else. I'm like, what is going on with y'all? I'm there with my kids, and they're all nice. Oh, you want me to take a picture for you? I'm like, oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then the game starts, and they're cursing and hollering.
We'll kill you.
I'm like, all right, man. Y'all got some issues, but, yeah, we're rooting for you.
Well, and this is what we were talking about yesterday with, like, you need, obviously, to make up those 2 games against the Astros. You have your first opportunity here. You are playing an easier series on paper than they are. They are playing a much tougher opponent. So lean into that, right? And God, we were talking about earlier when you've had opportunities and it's like maybe they'll lose to the Rockies and you're like, oh my God, seize this opportunity. This isn't going to happen all the time. Man, when the Astros lose and the Mariners win on the same day, nothing like it. Doesn't happen a lot.
It's a great feeling.
Great feeling.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Kyle Schwarber hit his 50th home run of the season last night, becoming just the second player in Phillies history to hit that many home runs in a season. What's the real headline?
I remember Cal's 50th home run.
It was like,
Felt
what,
like just-
3 home runs ago?
Yeah.
Old news.
I honestly barely remember it. It was so long ago. But good for
It's
the
cute of
Phillies.
you, Kyle.
It's cute. That's really
Yeah.
cute of Schwarber to hit the 50th and second Philly ever to do it, which Mariners already have their second Mariner to hit 50 bombs. But again, good for the Phillies. They're a really plucky team, and I appreciate that about them.
Schwarber is who I remember seeing going down to Mississippi in summertime and watching my dad's beer softball league. Like that, Schwarber gives me that type of feel. Because in those leagues, everyone hits bombs. There's like 2 bombs an inning. Everyone's all jacked up and swole. They're all Marines and in the Army and stuff. And that's the feeling that Schwarber gives me. He did hit 4 bombs in a game, though. And that's impressive.
It felt like a cheat code in the All-Star game when the National League had him as their last hitter in the home run challenge or whatever
Never
it was.
have I
extras.
been more upset. Granted, they're all All-Stars, but like, guys, I don't know that we plotted this out exactly the way
when
we
the
did.
AL had Jonathan Aranda from the Rays as their third hitter, and then Kyle Schwarber comes up and just goes yard in 3 straight swings.
Just
and it's
not even fair. It was very cool, objectively cool to see, but yeah. Didn't pick Cal for that one. Did get Rooker, and he did a good job. I think 2 or 3. Schwarber's
Did you guys
crazy.
see the Texas Rangers, who are just a game and a half back of the Mariners, 2.5 back of
Annoying.
the Astros? They have now signed their 3rd former Mariner of the season. Donnie Barrels is a Texas Ranger.
I missed that. Did that happen this morning?
That happened late last night. Donnie Barrels is a Texas Ranger. Dylan Moore is a Texas Ranger. Rowdy Tellez is a Texas Ranger.
Donnie stay with a job, man.
It's very weird.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
That's what they say.
So, thank you.
I guess. Very strange.
I'm
to
gonna
see
be mad
all 3
if
of them.
they sign all those dudes and end up passing us up. That's where I'm gonna be mad.
You're going to be mad. It's like if I'm watching Donnie Barrels.
Do you think it was an inside job then? Because all 3 of them struggled here. They were maybe no, I was kidding. That's me, conspiracy theorist.
Well, I do love conspiracy theorizing, but I think I'm with Bump. I'm going to be really annoyed if it's like in any important game of any kind. You're like, what do you mean that both Donovan Solano and Dylan Moore had a hit in this game? What do you mean that happened?
Yeah, that's disrespectful. One man's trash, another man's treasure.
Yeah,
apparently.
good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Both really likable guys, though. So glad that they were able to find an opportunity. I'm going to be very, very upset if the Rangers end up catching up to the Mariners here.
Yeah, me too.
Did they beat the Brewers again?
I believe so.
What the heck? Milwaukee.
Yeah, get it together, Milwaukee.
You're supposed to help.
Get it together.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, they won 5-4 last night.
God. I thought the Brewers, Jeff Passan literally yesterday, every team's inconsistent except the Brewers. There's a Jeff Passan curse, I think.
You think so?
A jinx. Remember when he I forget what win it was. It was like when the Mariners coming out of the All-Star break were like, I don't know, 9-1 and something crazy. And he said they're a World Series contender, or like they're crazy right now. And then they got into a slump.
Passan has been a weird voice when it comes to the Mariners the last couple of years. You know, it's been, oh, stop whining, you have a good ball club. Oh, I don't know if they're good enough. Oh, I think they're a World Series team.
I feel like he's giving us mixed signals.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around when it comes to the Mariners. I mean, it's easy to do when you are a Mariners team and you have the ups and downs, but yeah, Passan's been an interesting one to listen to.
I'm going to need him to commit, or you know what I mean? I'm like, either you're with us or you're against us.
Yeah.
So what's it going to be, Jeff? It's going to be Jeffrey.
Choose up.
A few people on the text line pointing out Sam Haggerty, also a Ranger.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Well, then, gosh.
Also a really nice guy.
In this Brewers series, it has been basically all Michael Hellman, the Rangers outfielder. He's driven in 7 of the 10 runs that Texas has scored over the last 2 games. A 5-0 win when he hit the grand slam. He drove in all 5 runs that game and then had a 2-run home run last night to tie the game at 3.
Goodness gracious.
Do the Astros and Rangers still have a series? That I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, where do the Rangers try to make up ground here? Obviously, Seattle has that series against Houston, which is massive. 9 days from now?
Texas and Houston play September 15th through the 17th. So that
right
is the series right before
Seattle.
the Mariners, yeah.
Okay, so starting September 15th, some big AL West games happening. Maybe some shuffling.
Yeah, Texas doesn't have it easy after today's series finale. This weekend, they have a 3-game series in New York and then a 3-game series in Houston. But Texas's final 9, 3 against Miami, 3 against Minnesota. Yikes. They do have a 3-game series against Cleveland at the end of the season, which could potentially matter a lot, but be wary of Texas in the final 9 games, I would say.
All right, well, Bump's been watching a lot of film for good reason. There's something we want to see more of from the Seahawks in Week 2, particularly on offense. He's going to help us break down an important quote from Mike Macdonald next.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. It's going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. That type of longevity is a good thing, except 20 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break. Most recently, it's our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners to the station. Better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. To celebrate the start of football season, the guys at Harley Exteriors are offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or go to harleyexteriors.com.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
There was a quote from Mike Macdonald from his press conference on Monday that's still sticking with me. Bump, I was thinking about like, hey, what do we really want to see in week 2 against the Steelers? And I kept going back to this question. Brian Nemhauser was at the press conference, so we included the question there as well. Asked why they didn't run as much outside zone.
You guys didn't have as much outside zone, it seemed like, in that game as maybe expected. Was that more about what the 49ers were giving you looks-wise, or just a different plan for this game?
Probably don't want to disclose like our trade, our strategy there on what we had up and what we didn't. But I'll say this: when we ran it, I thought it was effective. So that's what we are. We're an outside zone team with inside zone and gap complements, and that's what we're going to be.
Now, leaning into both of our backgrounds here. As a reporter who's listened to a bajillion press conferences, that to me sounds like a head coach that's a bit frustrated and that is also making a point and taking a bit of a stance. I'll say this, right? That's pretty definitive. I'll say this. When we ran wide zone, I thought it was effective. Mm-hmm. And then additional part of that's like part of a later answer is he says, like, that's our identity as a team. But I'm not an analyst, so turning to you for this one, naturally I'm wondering, well, how much did they run? What did it look like? When he says we want more wide zone, I can think of what wide zone is, but like, were they completely devoid of it in this game? So when it comes to that quote from Mike Macdonald, when we ran it, it was effective, seemingly want to see more of it. Tell us what we saw on Sunday.
So I went back and I looked at all the plays, all 53 plays they had on offense. And wide zone wasn't ran to, I think, they didn't run as much as he wanted them to run it. I throw a toss in there as a wide zone as well because the principles are the same. You're trying to get wide. You're just getting there differently. A toss, you're under center. You reverse pivot, toss it to your running back. He gets wide. Traditional wide zone, you're under center. You keep the ball. You pivot. You hand it off to him, and then your running back tries to get wide. But the principles with the offensive line are essentially the same. You're just getting to a spot in a different way. So out of the plays that I saw, 9 wide zone and toss plays, 10 inside zone plays, 3 to 4 gap scheme plays. And I think there were a couple of plays with wide zone where it worked, but there are a lot of plays where it didn't work. So I think looking at the film and trying to get in Kubiak's mind is that I think that the 49ers did a good job setting the edge. So when you set the edge on a wide zone, it means you are your widest guy setting an edge and forcing everything back inside to where your help is defensively. Mm-hmm. There were a couple runs that hit, but I could also understand why Kubiak wouldn't lean on that because that 49ers defensive line is good. I know we were questioning it going into the regular season, all the pieces that they were missing, but they are good. They are stellar, and Salah had those guys ready to go. So when you feel like as a coordinator, you're not able to set the edge, they are setting the edge, forcing everything back inside to where their help is, you're going to try to get away from it. That's why we saw more inside zone, especially because their 1 tech and their 3 tech were splitting the gap, getting to the backfield, and like I said, forcing everything inside. So what do you do as a coordinator? If that 1 or 3 tech is splitting the gaps and doing that, I'm going to run at him now. I'm going to run an inside zone to where we get a double team on that guy, and we occupy him a bit and allow our running back to get north-south.
And that's what you think Kubiak was doing.
Yeah, and I think Kubiak, that was his counter. It was like, all right, well, that 3 tech, that 1 tech, they are blowing us up, so now let's run at them. You don't run away from someone when they're beating you. You run at them so you get that double team.
Okay.
So that's what I saw. I think what was more surprising to me was that I counted 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 plays in shotgun. I counted 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 plays under center. And there's some, I guess, room for error there. But then I also counted only 2 play action passes, only 2. Mm-hmm. And if you aren't able to run the wide zone as consistently as you want to run it, then the play action ain't going to be there for you. Not a toss, the wide zone where you're under center, you reverse pivot, you fake the handoff, you boot. So I felt like the 49ers, you come in with a plan, obviously. Every week you come in with a plan, but then you have to adjust. I think the 49ers did a good job of making Kubiak have to adjust because they weren't able to set the edge the way they wanted to.
So is the solution of this be stubborn with it? Is the solution if inside zone works? It sounds to me, again, a very limited knowledge in comparison, like what he's saying is less shotgun, less inside zone.
I think he is saying that he wants them to be a bit more stubborn with it. And they have to coach their players to find those angles. And you create angles for that wide zone as well. When you see those motions, they're not just doing it because it looks cute, right? You do it, one, because it lets your quarterback identify if it's man or if it's zone. If guys are running with them, then it's man. If they're passing them off, then it's zone. But then you're also creating angles for your tight ends, your linemen, and your fullback. So when you see Oots motion from left to the right side, he's trying to get an angle, and depending on what his blocking assignment is, depending on the front, everything, your assignment could be different, but you're motioning the guy from the left to the right side. You're trying to create an angle to where you can kick out the furthest guy on the outside to create that running lane. Or if you're motioning a receiver or tight end from outside to inside, you're creating an angle to where he can crash down on the edge man to create that run lane and that angle. So that's what it comes down to. And the 49ers did a good job of eliminating those angles just off of pure talent and play recognition. On Monday, I said that a lot of the run plays were a bit predictable because you line up in this formation, heavy set to the right, you're probably running to the right. Therefore, the defenders can anticipate the angles a lot better on the second level. As far as the first level and the defensive linemen, they were just splitting gaps and just causing havoc.
So this is also like some pressure on the offensive linemen to not let those guys push everything inside and to instead create more lanes.
Well, it's also hard, too, because if you're running a wide zone, right, your first step for your offensive lineman is a big step to the right. Say we're running into the right.
Yeah.
A big step to the right side. And if they are slanting, so say I'm running that big step to the right side, and they have a slant called to where the defensive line is slanting the opposite way. So we're stepping right, and they're slanting to our left.
Here.
There's going to be a gap. It's easier for them to get the gap.
Yeah.
So when you get into those formations and you motion that guy over, there could be an automatic check where they're calling a slant into that because they're going to slant and shoot the gap because they know you're taking that wide step to the right.
What do you do?
What do you do?
I don't know.
What do you do? That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Okay,
to
well,
figure that out.
what are you hoping that we see more of in week 2 when it kind of with this in mind?
I'm with Coach Macdonald. I'm hoping you just get under center, you run the wide zone, you're running, you're stubborn, and then you start to play action off of that. And only seeing 2 play actions was alarming to me. I thought for sure I was tripping. I have to go back and look at it again. I go, there's no way they only had 2 play actions. Only 2 play actions, and one of them Sam Darnold ran for a first down.
I asked Brady for some help looking up play action percentage for teams. The Minnesota Vikings, and this is from Tremedia, the Minnesota Vikings had the most with, I think, like 40-something% play action, number 1 in the league. Middle of the road was around 20-something%. Seahawks at 8.8. And Pro Football Focus has that more at like 7.7.
Yeah.
Because they took a closer look at each of those 2 snaps. 7.7 is less than they did it on average last year. It was moving in the opposite direction. Like, how is it a Ryan Grubb offense was using more play action than you did in that game? And I understand it changes by game. Like, I understand that seeing shotgun doesn't mean that they're abandoning an offensive philosophy. Like, I get it. But I was a bit surprised to see that.
No, I was surprised to see as much shotgun as we saw. But again, you have to adjust during the game, and I think Kubiak felt like that was necessary. And at the end of the day, you still had a chance to win the ball game. It just didn't happen the way we thought it was going to happen.
So the goal, more play action, more motion.
More play action and running to the weak side of the formation, too. I think that when you overload one side, everyone knows you're going that way, line adjust, and it makes it harder.
All right, get off my lawn, coming your way next.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks rookie receiver Torrey Horton.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live, tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. This is what I want you to do. Get on I-5, go north, and get off on exit 260. That's where you will find Silver Reef Casino. It's a great place to get away, to recharge, relax, get your mind right. I've done it, and it works. The rooms are comfortable. They're spacious, free Wi-Fi, and you have tablets in there as well. When you're done there, you go downstairs and get something to eat. Go to the steakhouse or the cantina. They got other restaurants as well. But you want to watch some games, go to Porter's Bay Sports Bar. The drinks are cold and the service is great. There's TVs everywhere. My golfers, they got you covered too. Loomis Trails Golf Course, 18 holes with water almost everywhere. Hit that fairway. And also they got special promos this month. You can win $10,000 every Saturday with a grand prize of $50,000. They have events coming up as well. You want to check that out. Book tickets at silverreefcasino.com. Silver Reef Casino Resort is not a secret anymore.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization, video streams, and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game Sunday, September 21st. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, September 9th through September 15th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey everybody, it's Bob Stelton here. Now, if you have joint pain, this is going to interest you. Wednesday, September 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
So what joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, September 17th at 6 p.m. to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
The fall, well, it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff, and Top Fitness has some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and you've heard me talk about working out in your home gym. It's the best. From flooring to everything that goes in that gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, well, Top Fitness provides it all. Top Fitness represents the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, yes, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with so many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions right now, and you know what? They'll do the rest. They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing. Mention you heard it from me and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everyone, from personal trainers to professional athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness has locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit them online at topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Lots of Mariners questions for Yahoo Sports. Jordan Shusterman joining us in 15. Right now it's time for Get Off My Lawn. Bump, you got 3 things grinding your gears this week. I'm going to guess one's about the airport, but we'll find out. What's first?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, this ain't a very sports-heavy get off my lawn today. This isn't very sports-heavy, but I'll start with a non-sport. I'll go sport, and then I'll end with a non-sport. So let's first start off with, I have to take the 6 a.m. flight out of Oakland on Sundays to make sure I'm here for the 10 o'clock show. For the Seahawks. I do CW stuff, so I wake up early, 6 o'clock. I land at 8. I go straight to the stadium.
That's a long Sunday.
And I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But the airline I typically fly with canceled that 6 a.m. flight. And I'm like, why'd they cancel it? Because that thing was full. It was a lot of us in there. I could count on seeing like 20 people, like the same people every Sunday. It's like we had a little relationship going on, 20 of us.
So you can't see your friends.
Yeah, I can't see my buddies anymore. So now I got to take this 6:40 flight, and it's with a different airline. And I haven't flown with this airline in a long time. And, I have to fly with this airline, and it was the Niners week. So I'm like wearing my Seahawks stuff. 90% of the flight is Niner gang, and they're hollering at me as I get on the plane. And I'm just like, man, it's too early for this. I don't care about y'all
So
right
this
now.
is 6 a.m.?
6:40. They are hollering and yelling. They've been drinking already. I'm thinking, all right, man, I'm working. I know you guys are like fans, but I'm working. But that's not even my gripe. My gripe is this airline said that they were assigning seats. So I get my boarding pass. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
What seat am I in? No assigned seats. They still got groups, and you got a number where you get on the plane. And I think that is ridiculous. One, it slows down the boarding process because everyone's looking. The first group, everyone's going to take the aisle and the window. So there's a bunch of middle seats open. Now, what if you get on with a partner? Now you got to ask somebody if they can scoot over. You can switch with them. Non-assigned seating is crazy to me.
I've never heard of this.
It causes chaos. It's just a free-for-all. Everyone's in there putting bags anywhere, trying to figure out where to sit. It is crazy to me. And this airline said that they got rid of that. So they lied. False advertisement. You lied. I called my buddy who works for that airline. I go, you guys are liars, man.
Oh, you spoke to the manager?
Well, I know my buddy. He works in Houston, and he's kind of big with that airline.
You said I'm calling the manager.
So I hit him up. I'm like, what's going on, dog? He goes, oh, man, it's a slow rollout. I go, well, get rid of the commercials then until it's completely out there. It's a done deal. So seats that aren't assigned on airlines is crazy to me.
That's
it slows down the
insane.
process. It's chaos in that thing. And please, I'm not going to say the airline that usually, Alaska, please bring back that 6 a.m. flight for me. Please.
Yeah,
I don't want to fly with
get
them
back
anymore.
to Alaska.
Yes, I don't want to fly with them anymore.
I have never heard of this in my life. I don't fly nearly as much as you do. I didn't know that was a thing.
It's a thing.
I'd never heard of that ever. And it
It's
feels
crazy.
like the dumbest thing that you could ever do for
It's
an
a
airplane.
free-for-all. They line you up in groups, group A, B, and C, and then they have you line up. You get a number. So you're like group B, number 40. So there's a little chart where you line up, and it's integrity, right? You just line up the group B, number 40, you sit there, and then you go in. I don't understand it.
No.
Why are we doing this?
You need to line up
2025.
Line up in a way that makes sense, like socioeconomic status, like normal. Okay, what's next?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
This next one, this was wild to me, man. I'm watching Monday Night Football, and there are people just tearing up J.J. McCarthy. And my man has played 30 snaps in the NFL. 30 snaps, and I'm online, and people are saying he's not good enough. He's not it. He might not be good enough. He might not be it. But then what happens? He turns it around, he balls out, and he wins the game for his Minnesota Vikings. I don't know what his career is going to look like. It could fizzle out. He could win. That could be the only game he wins this year. But people online making such strong opinions on this young man. He's only 20, 30 snaps in was crazy to me. I'm like, let him live. We're giving Caleb a second chance here because he had Shane Waldron in the gang over there with the Chicago Bears. We're giving him a second chance. Why not let J.J. McCarthy work this thing out? So I was so happy to see this dude just work it out, grind it out. You saw his confidence build. Throw after throw after throw. He's flexing on the sideline. I'm thinking, that's what I'm talking about, man. We tend to overreact so much, man. It's like, if we don't see exactly what we want right now, it is over. Like we're talking about, even with the Seattle Seahawks, people are distressed that, oh, my God, what are we doing? Like, yes, it's week 1. All right, they should have won that ball game. But give them a chance to correct what's going on. Now, if you get to week 3 and you're 0-3, then now we got some problems, right? But with J.J. McCarthy, I'm thinking, let the young man live. Let him make some mistakes. He's 22. He's 22 years of age. Why are we so concerned, or why are we so stressed out about 20 to 30 snaps? He's got so much to learn. Just calm down, people. Give these young men and women opportunities to grow and to learn through failure, because that's how you do it. You learn through failure, not through success. If he had success his whole life, if he hopped into the league and was just tearing it up, he's not going to learn. And he's not Pat Mahomes. We only seen a few people hop in the league and just tear it up at the quarterback spot. It's hard to do. Leave JJ alone. I don't know what his career is going to be like. He might fizzle out. He might be a bust. It might not work out. But we were 20, 30 plays in, and people on his head. That was crazy to me.
I call it race to the take. And I
Race
think
to the
there's
tank.
no,
like
I
that.
really do. I think there's a lot of pressure, and you'll see this from like big name analysts too. And I totally get it. It's the nature of the job. We feel, even you and I, pressure to come in rightfully, fairly every day and be like, what's my opinion today? And that comes naturally to people who like sports. You already know. You finish a game and you're like, I've thought, and I need to talk about this. But I think sometimes the race to the take beats us, and we say something that we have no way to back up. We say something that like isn't really fair.
Yeah.
And for you, you're like, hey, get off my lawn and just chill for a minute.
Like, and you might be right. You might be right.
Sure.
JJ might not work out, but his first game ever in the NFL.
3 quarters.
First game. Come on, man.
2 maybe. Okay, what's next?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, we're going back to the airport. Back to the airport.
There we go.
There are a lot of good things about the airport. I love people watching. I've met some interesting people at the airport as well. I'm a people person. I'll talk to anybody. But listen, kids are cute. They are so cute. You know, they're first learning how to walk, and they're wandering around. And I love kids at that age. They're so innocent. But listen, if it's a crowded airport, grab your kid and pick them up. Don't let the kid be wandering around, zigzagging all through the dang airport. Like, what are we doing? I got places to go. I got a 6:40 flight I'm about to catch. And little Jasmine is just wandering around, going left and right, falling down. And the moms are sitting there, oh, you okay? You okay? No, we got things to do, all right? You might be going on vacation to Disneyland. I got to go to work. And little Jasmine is jacking on my pace right now, all right? It's cute. I love kids. There's a time and a place. There's an area. Right? They always have those areas for kids.
Yeah.
Let them wander over there. This is adult area.
Yeah,
okay?
get them off the freeway.
People are moving. We're like those ants, right? When the ants start moving and they find like a piece of toast or something and they're going back and forth communicating. That's who we are in the morning. If you are flying in the morning on a Sunday, you're probably either coming back from vacation or you're going to work.
Yep.
Pick up little Jasmine. She's cute.
Get her out of the way.
Adorable. But she's jacking on my flow. But and then she cuts in front of me, and I almost run over her. And I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Come on,
God,
man.
one of the worst times as a parent going through the airport. It was we were at security, and Willow was acting nervous. She was like crying, didn't want to go through the metal detector or whatever. And then Blair, our youngest, who was like 1.5 at this time, she just finds a spot on the floor, the cement floor at TSA, and just lays down and tries to like take a nap. And
Blair
we're
was
like,
little
"Get
Jasmine
up!
in that moment.
Get up! We got to go through the metal detector. What
On
are you
her
doing?
time. On her
She's like,
time.
nah, Dad, it's like 5 a.m.
You know-
I'm laying down right here.
When people try to walk their dogs, but the dogs have given up, so they're laying on the floor and then they're just getting dragged. I imagine that was you guys with Blair.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, well, we're going through TSA.
Yeah, you're coming through whether
and she's
you're
just
ready or not.
sliding on the floor. But my favorite thing before we hit break here and come back with Jordan Shusterman is how many people have correctly guessed the airline.
Yeah, y'all on point. Y'all on point.
99% of texters, and I just see the airline back to back to back for like a million texts here.
Alaska all day. Holla at me. Let's get a deal done.
Yahoo Sports, Jordan Shusterman next.
Seahawks make a move. Wyman and Bob every afternoon at 2.
Abe Lucas signs a 3-year, $46 million extension. How about that?
I've said I think he's the most spectacular offensive lineman until Gray Zabel takes over, because I fully expect that to happen. But when you watch Abe Lucas, it's like, look at this. He's always looking for extra work, or he's running downfield and blowing somebody up.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
Love cars? LeMay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma, is packed with 300 stunning classics, family fun, and events year-round. For what's happening next and to plan your visit, go to americascarmuseum.org.
Did you know that your windows and doors are your main source of energy loss? At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, our windows with triple weather stripping and gasket seals are up to 25% more efficient than Energy Star standards. LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Upgrade your home's energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Details at LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners took the series against the Cardinals with a win yesterday. Josh Naylor came up big for a second consecutive game, this time a fourth-inning home run to give Seattle a 4-3 lead. Credit Randy Arozarena for a 3-run bomb in the third to give the Mariners their first lead of the game. Series finale today at 6:40 p.m.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman joining us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Jordan, how's it going?
Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
Good. Happy Wednesday to you. Excited to talk about a win, but I do have a concern coming out of this one, and I'm going to start with it. George Kirby got hit pretty hard by the Cardinals in this one. 2 runs allowed is still better, I think, certainly, than 7. But I was hoping for a bit of a bounce back, and I don't know that I totally felt that from this one. How'd you feel about Kirby leaving this game?
I agree with you. And, I mean, what a showing from the bullpen. And I know to be quick to spin it to a positive, but really, I mean, I had the same thought as he was laboring through those early innings. And, you know, it wasn't a total blowout start. You know, it wasn't a game where he left and they had no chance of winning. But, you know, that was asking a lot from this bullpen, and they absolutely stepped up. But that's the kind of game that, you know, can have repercussions for the next few games. And we'll see how the rest of this series pans out, the rest of this week pans out, of course, season and so on. But that's what's so frustrating. Sure, the bullpen bails you out there, but yeah, you're really hoping to get Kirby back on track, and he just has not been nearly as sharp as I think. It seemed like he was really moving in that direction for a few weeks there earlier in August, and this was clearly a step in the wrong direction.
What do you think of the bullpen as it stands today? I mean, you mentioned they bailed Kirby out. There were times during the season when we were extremely concerned about the bullpen. How are you feeling about it now?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, coming off last night, you say, okay, well, there you go. There's the recipe, and they're capable of giving that. And I think that that's true. I think that especially a guy like Bizzardo, who really, talk about unsung hero. I mean, he's really been having a great season. Nice to see Ferguson have a better outing. I know he's definitely struggled and has unfortunately kind of become the face of the inactivity at the bullpen at the deadline from a bullpen standpoint. Say, oh, really? You just get Caleb Ferguson? I mean, Ferguson's having a nice season. He can have good outings like that. But, again, that is a lot to ask from these guys. Obviously, Brash and Munoz, for the most part, have been good. But, again, they're capable. On their best night, they can be a good unit. But you're still asking a lot of them, especially if you're asking them to cover that many innings in one game at this point in the season without as many off days coming up. That is a little bit of a dangerous game to play.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think for a lot of Mariners fans, there's a fear that it'll cost you this year, which is ironic considering last year that, the bullpen was okay, and especially the starting pitching was stellar. We keep hearing, hey, if this team's going to win the AL West, they need their pitching to be great again. And Jordan, with each game that passes, I'm just not convinced that it's going to be great this year. And that's for myriad reasons, which we can get into another time. Have you seen enough from this offense and maybe from the rest of the American League for you to think they stand a chance to overcome a team that doesn't get its pitching back to some top level?
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair question. It is interesting because, I think not just to Mariners fans, but to the average fan, to the casual observer of the American League, and I've had these conversations with people who aren't watching the Mariners as much every day, they still say the same thing. They say, what do they say? They say, if they can just get in, right? Because, man, look at that pitching staff. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's true. I think that is still mostly true because of the state of the American League, and I do think that the best version of this roster is still a very, very special team. When you get a Brian Wu on his best day, a Logan Gilbert on his best day, that does stack up with the rest of the American League. At the same time, it is not the same conversation that we were having a year ago where it's like, oh, man, this will be the best rotation in the playoffs. Like, no, I just don't think you could really say that. Maybe they change our minds in the next couple weeks, but that's kind of where I'm at with this point. Now, as for whether it's good enough to win the AL West, I think the answer is yes. I'm not saying that they will, but it's close enough right now, and the Astros are flawed enough right now that, yeah, I mean, compared to the issues the Astros are still having on the mound, where outside of Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez, who hasn't been as good recently, I mean, Luis Garcia leaves again. He's injured. Javier's been up and down since he came back. So it is good enough to win this division, but that says more about the division than it does them.
Stacy and I were having conversation about, the future of this team. It's hard not to think about the future when you get performances by some of these guys who are going to be on the market. How important do you think it is to keep a guy like Josh Naylor? And if you had to guess, what do you think it's going to take to keep him?
Man, it's a great question. And I've honestly pushed back pretty hard on just getting too far ahead of ourselves. We got to extend. I've said this on the show before. We got to extend Randy. You got to extend Naylor. You got to do all the extend Gino. It's like, okay, let's just go one day at a time here. I will say that the Naylor performance at T-Mobile Park is pretty spectacular. I know we're still talking about a small sample size, but it's not. You can understand why fans are looking at someone who is ecstatic to hit in T-Mobile Park and the numbers to back it up to be like, okay, well, what more do you want to see? This is exactly the guy that you should lock up. And I think it's going to be interesting because he's not necessarily someone that is going to cost a fortune, I would think, just based on, the profile and the history. But I don't know. It's really hard to tell what a player like that is going to command. I think that he'll be reaching free agency at I believe, relatively young age, be 29 or 30 instead of like a 32, 33. So that's going to give him a little bit more of a cushion to seek out a 3 or 4 year deal. That said, I mean, is that really going to get up to $100 million? Maybe. But I don't know. If it's something where he's comfortable and the team really believes in his fit, as clearly this should be our first baseman for the next couple of years, it wouldn't shock me if they could find a deal with him. But as for an extension at this point in the season, that certainly doesn't seem likely.
The good news for the Mariners yesterday is not just that they won, but they won on a day that the Astros lost, getting walked off by the Blue Jays. However, I also have my eye, as many other people do, Jordan, on the Rangers, who are having a good series against Milwaukee. Brewers, what are you doing? You're supposed to help the Mariners out here. Should Mariners fans and Astros fans, for that matter, be worried about the Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, we're really at the point now, and we kind of touched on this in the pod we recorded this morning. Now we're at the point where you're looking in both directions, right? And so you're excited about, the Astros lost. Oh, wait a minute, here come the Rangers. Here come the Guardians, right? Guardians on a 5-game winning streak. And so you kind of got to just focus on what's in front of you. Texas is just an absolutely mystifying situation. I've been saying this for weeks, but again, they heated up when all their best players got injured. So what am I supposed to make of that? Does that mean that they have? Is this just about Bruce Bochy? Is this just a magical hot streak for the Michael Hellmans and Dustin Harris and all these Cody Freeman guys that nobody's ever heard of? But good for them. They're seizing their opportunity where they didn't necessarily expect it. I know that the players on the team have certainly talked about the energy that they've been playing with because again, these are. In some ways, it makes sense because the guys on the Rangers that were already on the Rangers that have already won the World Series, not that they don't want to win, but it's a different kind of motivation. It's a different kind of energy. It's a different kind of spark where it's guys that are trying to prove themselves versus guys that have already done it. And I think that you're really seeing that with the way that they're playing. Can they keep it up? I have no idea. But like I just said, we're down to a few enough games where at this point anything goes. It's a small enough sample.
Is Cal the MVP?
Is Cal the MVP? Oh, boy. I think he could be. I still think he's going to get votes. I think unless Aaron Judge hits 10 homers in the next 15 games, which, by the way, guys, he could. I think it's going to end up being very, very, very close. It'll help him if he can, get those last couple records with the, passing Mickey Mantle and stuff like that. It's going to help drive the narrative. But I do think he is going to have a lot of support from people, especially. And then maybe this does matter where the Mariners end up finishing, making the playoffs, where the Yankees end up finishing. Maybe that does end up being a tiebreaker for some people, but I think this is going to be close. I can't say for sure that he is going to win, but I think that he is going to get votes, and I think it's going to be an interesting debate.
I think the part of the debate that most annoys me is probably one about average because it's just not Cal's profile as a hitter, and I wanted to revisit how you think his profile has changed because I see a lot of people saying, I feel like he's in kind of a slump. It's kind of like home run or bust, and I'm like, man, well, first of all, it's a lot of home runs, but secondly, isn't that kind of his swing? I don't know that he's chasing them so much as he's doing what he does best this year. How do you see his profile this year?
Yeah, I think what's challenging and what's hurting him more, I think focusing on Cal's batting average is missing the point. Mm-hmm. And I think anyone that's voting for Cal is going to be voting for him because it's like whether he hits 230, 240, 250, it doesn't matter. What he's doing as a catcher on both sides of the ball is amazing, and I think that remains true. I will say from a narrative and perception standpoint, it does not help that Aaron Judge is going for the batting title. It's not just that Cal Raleigh is, he's a home run or bust. The batting average has gone down recently when it was at a career high. It's that Aaron Judge is, going to be hitting 320 maybe. It's not even, and has been higher over the course of the season. So that's what it's up against. It's kind of the contrast as much as it is about Cal in particular. But like I said, I don't think anyone that was going to be willing to vote for Cal is going to be not voting for him because he suddenly is hitting 240 instead of 250.
Yeah, Cal is an interesting character. I think it depends on how you look at the games where you place value on Cal and all these other guys going down. This is outside of Seattle, but this is a guy that I just enjoyed watching this season, and we talked about him earlier today. Let's talk about Schwarber's season and what he's doing over there with Philly.
Yeah. Hey, who cares about batting average, right? I mean,
Get out of here.
Schwarber's been doing this for 10 years, and everybody loves him. So, I mean, I will say, I joke about that, but the fan, we hit on him again to lead off our podcast today, just because, him reaching 50 home runs and what that means. But it's the fact that he found another gear, and we've been saying this about Cal Raleigh also, but for Schwarber to be doing it for even longer, for him to have already had all these incredible seasons in Philadelphia and to reach another gear and be like, no, actually, I can get even better, right, going into free agency, right, for a team that is finally trying to win a World Series with this core. It's an amazing story. He's an incredible figure, an incredible hitter for that team, for that city, and I'm excited to see what that looks like in the postseason for them, for sure. But yeah, Schwarber is amazing. He's so much fun to watch hit, and this really does feel like the grand crowning achievement of his career. But like I said, he's gotten so much better this year that why not do it a few more years like this? Why can't he hit 50 homers again next year, whether he's in Philly or somewhere else?
162 season is a grind for every single team, but I wanted to talk about the impact of fatigue when it comes to a playoff stretch here. I don't know if you saw it, but Ryan Divish, who's a Mariners reporter for the Times here, had a column talking about how the Mariners had the most players play the most games of any team, and these guys, whether it's JP or Cal, just haven't gotten a ton of rest. Is this a time of the season where it's kind of too late, like too little too late, and it's like you got to keep playing them? You're, right in between the Astros and Rangers? Or is this something where you set your sights on making the playoffs and try to give guys days off? I guess, how do teams that are competing in tight division races manage fatigue in that final month?
I mean, it is such a good question. And I've been thinking about this all season, but especially recently. We just had Cal Ripken Jr. on the podcast. We had his whole interview. And I bring that up not just to be like, hey, that was cool. We had Cal Ripken Jr. on the podcast. But it's like he comes on there. It's like, yeah, what's the problem? We play 162 games every year. What's the big deal? This is when you should be kind of finding that energy. But again, you talk about it compared to a team like Texas, where you have all these rookies coming up that maybe have more fresh legs. Now, it goes both ways, right? I mean, the Mariners are going out there. They aren't injured, but they might be tired. And so the way that the grind of the season manifests for both pitchers and for hitters is interesting, because we as fans are quick to assume, well, if you're out there, you're fine. You should be at 100%. We just know that's not true. We know that is not the case. And by the way, especially for Cal, I mean, think about what this guy's been doing. Sure, maybe he's been catching a little bit less this season, but we see it with a lot of catchers. We saw it with Will Smith with the Dodgers last year. He was awful offensively for all of October and most of the second half. Now, they won the World Series anyway, but you can tell that it wears on some guys, and I'm sure it's having an effect. Now, that said, see a guy like what Julio's generally been doing, he's probably fine. He seems to have fresh legs, but then it gets into the age and the durability and just the athleticism overall. So it's going to affect different guys differently. There's probably something to it. It would not surprise me. But as you said, at this point, there's no turning back. You can't be trying to work in off days at this point when every game means so much.
All right, we'll kind of like table it and for conversations, maybe as we get to if they, Cal starts to struggle offensively, we'll revisit like, could this be the fatigue again? What are we looking at here? Another challenge for the Mariners as they move forward, but still a pretty exciting season. He is Yahoo Sports' Jordan Shusterman, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Sounds good, guys. Talk next week.
See ya. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory. Going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, no surprise, you've been watching a lot of film. What has film on the Steelers shown you?
Show me that Aaron Rodgers is going to make sure I win this bet between you and I.
I'm so upset.
I mean, he looks good. And they're only asking him to play within himself. He's not throwing the football way down the field. I think the average distance on his pass was like 5.8 yards or something like that. Wow. He's getting into his playmakers, and they are going. They're going to use a lot of play action against the Seattle Seahawks, as they should. But it also has shown me that this is my first time watching DK as an opponent. And I'm watching him as an opponent, and my appreciation has grown even more for what he brings. Even though he only caught 57% of the passes thrown to him. 4 receptions on 7 targets. But when he does catch the football, it ain't fair. Like, he is getting upfield. He's strong. He's still fast. He's in his prime. He has 68 yards after the catch week 1. That's second behind Zay Flowers. I couldn't imagine being a DB trying to get downhill and tackle DK. It's seeing him in that other uniform and watching how they're using him and watching him run with the football. I'm like, man, I might have taken that part of him for granted. Because when you're here, you're constantly critiquing him. Doesn't catch the football the way you want him to. The routes probably ain't what you want him to be. But his body is just different. I remember watching T.O. growing up. Top 5 receivers of all time, in my opinion. He was a body catcher. His routes weren't great, but when the football was in his hands, he was a problem. That's the way I'm looking at DK. And then I'm looking at Jalen Ramsey on the other side. Now, the Steelers' defense gave a lot of points, but they have this attitude about them that matches the jersey. Like when you think of Pittsburgh Steelers, you think of just tough, gritty teams, and that's what I'm getting out of them. So I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers, the way he's using the play action. Arthur Smith calling the proper plays for him. He's dinking and dunking. He's not pushing it down the field, getting the ball to guys like DK. This is going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough. So it's weird seeing DK on that side of the football, and they're using him correctly.
Is it bad that I simultaneously want Seattle, just collectively, everyone here, to have maybe a new respect or appreciation for DK's ability, which I think gets written off quite a bit because of his personality, is abrasive to some people, but simultaneously for the Seahawks to win?
I think people are going
to want both.
They're going to figure out. Here's the thing. DK is liable to have a game to where people say, I told you so. Because he has those games where he'll drop the football, he'll spaz out or something, but then he's liable to have a game to where you're thinking to yourself, dang, sometimes you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Second down. Who deserves more PT and who also deserves a second chance?
So I wrote this question before I looked at the snaps. Josh Jobe played in 61 snaps. That's 80% of the snaps. I think he should be competing with Reek Willen for that spot. Reek played in 76 snaps. That's 100% of these snaps. But I also think that Reek deserves a chance to go out there and try to correct himself. I know people are angry at him. That big play against Pearsall, he didn't attack the football in the end zone. You should be angry. You expect him to make those plays. But like I said, for J.J. McCarthy, it's just week 1. All right, give him an opportunity to correct it. Now, if he comes out this week and he's not aggressive and he's not where he's supposed to be and he's not making the plays that he's in position to make, then I think you go a little harder on him and you give Josh Jobe even more looks. But after 1 week, I'm not completely ready to give up on Reek. I have been skeptical about his commitment and his ability to make those plays. But obviously, when you're 6'4", you run a 4.3, you get a bit more leeway when it comes to your mistakes.
Yeah.
But after this week, if there isn't a hunger out of Reek Willen, there isn't an aggression to attack the football, if he's not making some plays, then you have to start looking at other guys. And I think that Mike Macdonald is not afraid of doing that. He's done that before in his career here already, in his short career here already. So yeah, Jobe deserves more time, and I'm gonna give Reek, a half, maybe even a quarter, to show me, look, you gotta keep up with this squad.
Is the reality of the NFL also, and maybe an important reminder, that guys with just really rare God-given talent do get a longer leash?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which is just the nature of it, right?
Yeah.
It's I mean, a very different situation, but you already see people go, trade Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet's the guy, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Ken Walker's still really talented. You want to be a running team, like, wait and see what you got with this guy.
Yeah, you're more patient with the talented guys.
Yeah,
so yeah,
it's rare.
Reek is one of those, but I'm telling you, after we go 2 or 3 series and he's making some of the same mistakes and not making plays, then you got to have a serious conversation.
Third down. How did the Seahawks tap into what we thought the offense was going to be?
We touched on this earlier in the show. It's about just being stubborn. Like you played against a team in the 49ers that were better in the box than anyone thought they were going to be. You couldn't set the edge on your outside zone. That's why I think they went into gap scheme, into inside zone. You get double teams on those defensive linemen. I don't think that's what you're going to see with this squad. You still got Watt coming into town, or you're going to Watt town this weekend. Good football player. But collectively, I don't think this box is going to be as good as the one that we saw with the 49ers. So how do you get back to it? You just get under center and you be stubborn with that thing. And you force the play action, man. And how do you force the play action? You don't force it. You do more play action because you're running the football a bit more. 2 times they use play action. I was so surprised when I looked at the film and saw that number.
That's crazy.
Because I felt like this was going to be a staple in their offense. So it just comes down to being stubborn, man. Like, be stubborn. Run the football, use your play action, do the things that Mike Macdonald wants you to do, because it feels like he was a bit frustrated after that game because his defense played good enough to win that ball game. You hold him to 17 points, you got 2 interceptions, you got a missed field goal, a blocked field goal. You should win that ball game. I'm not saying the offense played horribly, but they did make the plays when needed.
Fourth down. sticking with week one, what's one of the biggest disappointments after that game? Excuse me, after week one.
And it's a big disappointment for me because he's on my fantasy team. There's no way A.J. Brown gets one dang target. One target, A.J. Brown.
They won.
I don't care. Ain't about them winning.
It's about you
it's about
winning.
me winning. Granted, I still won, but I'm looking at the Philly and I'm saying, come on, man. Your guy needs more than one target. Granted, Devontae Smith only had 3 targets. Jahan Dodson had 3 targets. Dallas Goedert had 7 targets. You did win the ball game, but you're not going to win too many ball games with AJ only getting 1 freaking target.
Speaking of more opportunities, you know who needs a lot? Russell Wilson. And I'll tell you why. Because I got a bet going with Bump. I am way behind on this one with 4 touchdowns from Rodgers against the Jets. This is not good.
You know, it's Aaron Rodgers. You know, you bought into the Russell hype. Good ball player. He ain't no Aaron Rodgers though. He ain't no Aaron Rodgers.
Very disappointing. What else surprised you from week one?
Russell might get benched by halftime. I'm just letting you know that now.
The fact that Brian Dable, after the game, he did say, this loss is not on Russell Wilson, quote. However, he also didn't commit to a quarterback at first. While he did on Monday say Russell Wilson's starting, the fact that immediately post-game, you didn't say Russell Wilson is our guy, Russell Wilson is starting week 2, I don't care if you said it Monday. It's telling.
So you think that they're looking at young Jackson saying,
yes,
warm up your arms, son.
Imagine if Mike Macdonald was asked after this game, hey, you starting Sam Darnold week 2, which would be a stupid question. No reporter would ask that, but he was like, not talking about that right now. We're focused on kind of.
That's always it, man. Like if your coach ain't able to come out and be like, man, what are y'all doing? You're crazy. He's our guy.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some questions.
Yeah, you got to
asked.
have some more serious pushback against it, but. We are going to talk a little bit of college football, and it's not necessarily to, preview a game or to look ahead for Washington, though we are going to do that with Washington Wednesday, coming up with ESPN's Adam Rittenberg at 1:30. We got a lot of college football storylines to talk about. No. This is a little bit different. This is about a controversy because there's an AP poll voter that found herself in hot water. She made a lot of people very mad. That's next.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. It's Shusterman. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. But what about when you want to sell your car? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how do you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Well, that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. I'm serious. They've already given back over $800,000 to their customers. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're thinking. How are they able to do it? It's not a consignment. You get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value, and that means no more insurance, no more maintenance, and no more storage. Then they pay you half the profit when they resell your car. It's that simple. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work. WayscarFord.com.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, There's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm fortunate to speak with someone who underwent treatment for prostate cancer in February. Dave Wyman here, joined by Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host. Tim, how did you hear about Swedish Cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the Cyberknife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish Cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it, and I just went, that's it?
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
AP poll voter Haley Sawyer is getting ripped apart online for her explanation of putting Florida ahead of South Florida. Not only that, but moving Florida up 2 spots and leaving South Florida unranked. Mind you,
what the heck's going on?
South Florida beat Florida in the swamp this past Saturday. Incredibly important context. So Haley talked about her ballot, kind of.
But as far as what my votes are and what my process is, I wake up early in the morning after covering a game late in the night before. Don't want to go too much into my progress or process or logic, but I will say I appreciate everybody's interaction on social media and all of your feedback. There's tons of people that vote on the AP poll, and it's not a perfect system, but at the end of the day, no matter who you pick, it does even out because there's so many people who vote. And like I said, it's really fun for discussion. It doesn't probably matter in the end, but I'm glad that people are having a really good time with it.
It does matter. Also, what do you mean you're not going to go into your process and logic for explaining it? Bump, you threw your hands up at that one.
Sounds like she ain't taking her job seriously.
No, what?
That's what it sounds like.
Listen.
Like, it really doesn't matter in the end. It definitely matters in the end. You know who it doesn't matter for? Texas, Ohio State.
Sure.
Like the dudes who are guaranteed to be top dogs every single year. Might not matter as much to them because they're probably going to get in the college football playoff. For South Florida, it means everything. They need every single vote. What do you mean you're not going to go into your process? We need to know your process because your process makes no sense, and maybe we can help you with your process, or a mentor can help you with your process.
Or defend your process.
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense why you would do that. I feel for her because people are going to be on her head, but then I don't because that statement, she clearly didn't think it out. It's like she was just winging it right there.
Yeah.
And it sounds like she doesn't take the job seriously. Give me her vote then. Let me do it.
What I feel for is particularly women that are like, when stuff like this happens, I guarantee you, click on any one of the videos. So this isn't a video and it's all over Twitter. And you're going to see people just like, oh, this is why women, blah, blah, blah. She didn't make this vote because she's a woman. She's clearly just not responsible with her vote and not willing to defend her vote. Yeah. And it clearly doesn't matter to her. I don't know. This is a bad vote that I don't agree with at all. And I especially think she made it worse with her answer. I disagree with like 3 or 4 things she said in that answer itself. However, it irks me because while she may be smart and capable, whatever, it always is going to come back to like just a bad look, and it makes me really upset.
Well,
and
she did not help herself with
no,
that
she
statement.
didn't. No, she
and here's the
didn't.
thing. Florida's receiving votes. She's not the only one voting for Florida, but she's probably one of the few who put Florida over South Florida.
Well, and you're punished for losing to those schools. That's the entire point. Is that you saw Alabama go from 8 to 21, something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're punished for losing. Tell me what you think about this too. I was reading a CBS column that was saying, hey, this is really annoying. She probably wishes she had her vote back and clearly isn't willing to, or maybe isn't comfortable defending it. But maybe the bigger issue is the AP poll voting approach itself. And this person was arguing people try to project too much. Mm-hmm. rather than looking at immediate consequences.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. I think people try to be smarter than what they need to be in this. Mm-hmm. It's simple. South Florida, 2-0. Beat Florida. Who else they beat?
I don't know. They won week 1.
Yeah, I mean, just it's really that simple sometimes. You look at who beat who, the opponent, and you kind of rank them from there. It's not, but on this day, this quarterback didn't play the way he normally does because of this, that, and the third. No, This is a performance-based business. You go out there and perform. If you don't perform, then there are consequences. South Florida has been performing this year, so they deserve the love that they need. And they beat 25 ranked number 25 Boise week 1, and then they beat number 13 ranked Florida week 2. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
You don't put a team, the Florida Gators, who beat Long Island. I didn't know Long Island had a football team. And then,
I know they have an iced tea.
You lose a very good one at that. And then you lose to South Florida. This has made it worse for me. I didn't realize that Florida beat Long Island. I did not realize that. And then lost to South Florida. What is she doing? Take her vote, please.
I don't know. I hated the explanation. We're moving on, but a lot of people upset with that one. Next story. Remember Phillies, Karen? She chewed out a dad and his son after they came away with a home run ball she was going after, literally went over, got in his face. All of you have seen the video. An online trading card shop has offered this woman $5,000 for the ball. The catch? She has to publicly identify herself and apologize to the father and son. Listen, for $5,000.
You ain't doing it.
Oh, I'm not setting myself up.
One, you're not that Karen.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you were her.
No, I'd be too scared.
You're not doing that.
But it's really tempting.
No, $5,000?
$5,000, knowing that you've done something wrong.
Pay my mortgage for a year. then we can talk.
So it's like, what's worth public shaming? We're talking way more than add some extra zeros.
She's in hiding right now. And you know what? She has some really good friends and family because no one's outed her yet. No one's throwing her out there. So she has a nice tight circle.
It was just a weird approach Because hear me out. I've never caught a ball at a game, but isn't 90% of it the chase of getting it? And then after that, it's like it should go to a kid.
Yeah, and no one was sitting where the ball was hit. That's fair game.
That's the thing. How many? You see this all the time. If you come away with the ball, you win.
Yeah,
that's the
it's
rule.
not who gets to it first.
No.
It's who comes away with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a known rule. If two
Hunger
people,
Games out here, man.
It is.
Come on, lady.
And someone's got to go.
She said,
And
that
it
ball
was
is
Karen.
mine. He hit it to me. No, he hit
no.
it in the stands. It was a bomb.
And you got to let it go.
Come on, lady.
You got to move on.
It's embarrassing.
Next up, Chris Long is feeling old for the first time, and he's blaming last week's YouTube game between the Chargers and Chiefs for it.
I watched the YouTube broadcast of the game in Sao Paulo, and I felt immediately like somebody who was being ushered to an early grave. Like, it just felt like, hey, like, time to die, boomer. Like, you don't know who destroying is? Time to die. You don't want to see Mr. Beast's like giant pearly white smile as he Squid Games to NFL fans like through a goalpost. No problem. Just go to bed. You're old anyways. The whole thing to me, it's jarring, and I understand like what old people feel like when programming changes because like I just don't get it. And I'm old,
right?
And nobody wants to be the guy that's like is on like streamers or like it's a new. I don't want to young people, but I'm like, man, I really felt it the other night. Like, I'm not going to throw a fit. I'm still going to watch the game. Saying the YouTube is inherently an old man thing, and I called it the YouTube.
Oh, calling it the YouTube for the first time when you catch yourself, it's like when you squint at your phone and then you're like, no, it happened. Yeah. But I felt the way Chris did.
Thank God I have teenagers. You got a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old. So I'm not like really up with what's going on, but I have an idea. Like, I know who Destroying is. I know who Mr. Beast is. I've watched some of Mr. Beast's YouTube videos just because I connect with my kids that way. This is stuff they like to watch, so I watch it with them. So thank God I have teenagers. My son made me feel so old yesterday.
Why?
He goes, Dad, I've been getting Cindy lately. I go, what is that?
I don't know.
Cindy. And I go, what is that? And then he started doing this gesture and then this Cindy thing. I go, so when do you do that? Is there a reason to do that? And he goes, no, you just whenever you feel like it. I go, so there's no purpose behind making this gesture.
So what is Cindy?
You just do it. Cindy, I don't know.
Who is Cindy?
This weird thing, Cindy, like you're sending something? Cindy.
Like I know what it like
Cindy.
means to like send it.
Yeah. No,
Is that a related thing?
I looked at him and I said, okay. And that's where me and Mr. Long connect because in that moment, I felt old again. I said, I was just starting to keep up with you.
I dislike two things. First of all, I love my Gen Z kings and queens. I adore them. But I also am so lost all the time. And I know they hate older people. But the two things that do rub me the wrong way is one, when they use words they don't realize we use. And it's like, you didn't invent that. You think you started saying hella yesterday?
Right.
No.
Nah.
The second thing I hate is when they repurpose a word and make it bad or like opposite of what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you used to be, maybe when I still say it, but you'll be like, oh, that song, that's a bop. That's not what it means anymore.
Nah, bop is bad now.
Bop is bad now.
Yeah, bop is bad.
And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that?
You know what? You just live your life. Don't worry about these silly kids.
I need their approval. You're wrong. That's where you're absolutely wrong. 3 big numbers for Steelers-Seahawks coming up next.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks rookie receiver Torrey Horton.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate today.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game Sunday, September 21st. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, September 9th through September 15th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Mike Salk here, and you can book for an unforgettable summer experience. Book now. It's open. Wake up to breathtaking Cascade views with world-class dining. Go to snocasino.com for details. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Love cars? LeMay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma, is packed with 300 stunning classics, family fun, and events year-round. For what's happening next and to plan your visit, go to americascarmuseum.org.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541.
That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
3 big numbers for Seahawks Steelers in week 2. I got the numbers, and then Bump, you're going to help us explain a few of these. I kept it pretty simple, and I think a lot of us kind of know what the story is going to have to be, but it certainly helps to revisit some of these. So I will start with this big number, 4. That would be the number of touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers in this one. Oldest player in the NFL, Bump. Apparently doesn't matter. Well, he's not the MVP of years past. 22 for 30, 73% completion, 244. You went back and watched a bit of the film. So, like, if I just look at the box score, telltale story in the box score, never telling the full story. If I look at the box score, I see, oh, man, 73%, 244, 4 touchdowns. He was airing this thing out, but you were watching the film.
Nah, he was not airing it out. So the average completion was 8.1, but that's probably after the 3 or 4 yards after the catch. He was really dropping that thing about 5.3, 5.4 yards per attempt, and I think that's how a 40-year-old has to play. I think you only have so many 50-yard bombs in that arm left and that shoulder left. So you got to be smart, but you got to be able to run the football. They ran the football 20 times, not for a lot of yards, but enough to get these guys to kind of bite up and open up some passing lanes for them. And I think just the design of Arthur Smith's offense is perfect for a guy like Aaron Rodgers because it's real simple. It's run the football, play action, dink and dunk, let the young guns on the outside create some explosive plays for you. And you got explosive plays. DK had a gain of 31. Calvin Austin had a gain of 30. Skronik had a gain of 22. Jalen Warren had a gain of 17. That's all in the pass game. So they created some big ones.
Speaking of the pass game and speaking of those two players, one of the numbers that I didn't end up including but almost did was 19. That's Calvin Austin's number. I think so many of us are going to talk about this. It's like, could it be DK's revenge game? We're all going to be looking to see what DK looks like for obvious reasons. But Calvin Austin more than doubled his production last year from his rookie season. And already, I think he finished 4 catches, 70 yards. And just some really good play from him. So keep an eye on number 19 as well. Next number, 182. You can guess what this is going to be. Rushing yards surrendered to the Jets by the Steelers defense.
Yeah, and that's a little deceiving as well, I want to say, because you got that 182, but you got 48 from your quarterback in Justin Fields. And Breece Hall had himself a day. When I was preparing for the pregame show, we got the games going on. It seemed like every time I looked up, number 20 was getting loose for the Jets. So, yes, he averaged 5.6 per carry. So you got 107 on 19 carries. Justin Fields obviously contributed to that. So if you take away Justin Fields, you're talking about 130-something, which is still a good day on the ground. But no, the Jets show that they can be ran on. But it's about the way the Pittsburgh Steelers ran on. They're not an outside zone team. They're a lead, inside zone, gap scheme type of team. So they attack the interior a bit more than the outside. Granted, they still had some outside runs as well. You just got to be multiple in the run game. You can be an outside zone team, but like Kubiak did, he had to switch it up because the outside zone wasn't working. And I think that's what it comes down to, being versatile. You don't have a mobile quarterback like Justin Fields, so you're not going to get those type of contributions in the run game. But you see 182, you should be a bit excited because you feel like you can get some runs off of these guys.
I'm glad that you mentioned Justin Fields, though. I think the thing I looked at like quarter-by-quarter breakdown, because sometimes it'll be like, oh, they gave up 80 yards on the ground first half. I know you can't make every single adjustment you want, but like maybe they got into the swing of things. Sometimes it's like being weighted to the first half or, a first quarter can kind of speak to a team then responding. But no, this was pretty even throughout either half. Like the Jets were pretty consistent with it, but you're right. Sam Darnold is different, and he's not going to bring quite the same threat.
He's built different.
He's built a bit different, and this is going to be on Kubiak there. All right, last one, 22. Number of forced fumbles the Steelers defense generated last season. TJ Watt actually led the charge here, not just most on the team, but most in the league, with 6 forced fumbles on his own. Why it matters? The Seahawks fumbled 3 times in week 1.
Dang, 3 times?
Yeah, there was a fumble out of bounds by JSN.
Oh, so he fumbled twice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that fumble out of bounds.
And then obviously the Darnold fumble. You know what's weird? The final fumble is that nail in the coffin for the game, but I feel like I left the game not talking about ball security, but the more I was looking at the Steelers defense, the more ball security came back into play.
Yeah, for sure. Ball security, job security, turnovers kind of create a different type of energy for your team. If you're the one fumbling the football, it changes things in a negative way, and obviously on the other side, a positive way. It gives you, and it kills drives. Right, that drive where JSN fumbled, he felt like, okay, you got something going here. Yeah, I think he crossed the 50, and that fumble happens, and it kind of just takes the air out of your ball club, because those are the unnecessary type of mistakes. Like not converting on third down, that's going to happen. You don't want to be 3 for 10 like the Seahawks were, but it's going to happen. Dropping a ball on third down is going to happen. You got Cooper Kupp drops football on third down, but the thing you feel like you can control the most is when you already have possession of the ball.
Yeah.
And keep that thing tight. And JSN's fumble was unfortunate because the tackler wasn't even trying to force a fumble. He just swiped his hand across his body trying to wrap him up, and then he fumbles. And then even with the Sam Darnold one, it's not Sam's fault. And he's looking left, and his tackle gets pushed back into him, and he fumbles there. So unfortunate events, but you got to take care of that football, especially with a team that is going to focus on forcing fumbles. I remember when I was playing, we were taught to strip and rip. Like you get your hand in there and you pull it out. The last 5 to 8 years, now dudes are literally punching the football
aggressive
out.
with
like
it.
It's a whole different ball game. Like ball
Crazy.
security is a different deal. I remember being on the bottom of a pile. I already had the football, and I was called down, and someone came in there and just ripped it out of my hands. That's the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my life. Like, you are that much stronger than me. That you just ripped it out of my
I
hands.
feel like a bully taking my lunch money. Like, what?
It's the worst
but
feeling
I have
in the world.
But
It
it's
is
in
the
my
worst.
hands.
Yeah, and I had to secure. Like, yeah, I got this. Bow, just ripped it out of there. I think it was, I want to say it was against the Bears. But, yeah, ball security, job security.
I know. Again, maybe it's because, too, we're on JSN, who is the best offensive player in the game, that we didn't leave feeling like, hey, you got to be better with this, because it's like, look, you had a chance because JSN had 124 receiving yards. And he's not like had a fumbling issue. It was just kind of.
It happens.
Yeah, bad. But look, you want to talk about time of possession? Convert on third down, but this is another part of it. They had 2 takeaways, and I know you did too, but you didn't do anything. I think you had a field goal off one. And then the other drive, I think, if I remember, stalled. So it's like, not only do you need to convert on third down, be efficient on first down, like those are the 2 most important things to do when it comes to staying on the field and winning time of possession. But also having, keeping those possessions. I swear both fumbles just killed momentum. Like this offense didn't get into rhythm. I said this on Monday, and it felt like maybe 1 or 2 moments when they did, it ended.
Yeah.
You didn't see it.
No, it's drive killers, man.
Yeah.
Fumbles are drive killers.
All right, well, Mike Macdonald is set to speak with reporters live from Seahawks headquarters. That is coming your way next.
One game back.
Massive bat flip as this one sails away. Goodbye, Josh Naylor.
On a 5-game win streak and just a game back of Houston in the AL West, the Mariners go for a sweep of the Cardinals tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, pregame at 5:30.
1 game out of first place.
It's the Mariners' push to the playoffs, and it's only on Seattle Sports on 710 in the Seattle Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Upgrade your home's comfort, style, and energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door, plus enjoy 0 payments and 0 interest for 12 months. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Our bats are back, and the ballpark is rocking like 2001. I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. For those of you sick of searching for another allergy medication, we offer a solution that will save you time, money, and frustration. Rynair is a simple, minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip and stuffiness. We're taking new patients. Schedule your appointment in Auburn or Federal Way or go to sternsinus.com.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family, to work together, to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No, no place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners took the series against the Cardinals with a win yesterday. Josh Naylor came up big for a second consecutive game, this time a fourth-inning home run to give Seattle a 4-3 lead. And credit Randy Arozarena for a 3-run bomb in the third to give the Mariners their first lead of the game. Series finale today at 6:40 p.m. with a 5:30 p.m. pregame show right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. from the Quantum Fiber Studio
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
All right, Mike Macdonald ahead of week 2, scheduled to speak with reporters any minute. Usually it takes a couple minutes to start here. Live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center, Seahawks headquarters. He's, I'm sure, going to be asked for updates on some of these injuries. Going to be asked what to focus on for week 2. So here's the deal. The second that Mike Macdonald steps up to the podium and is ready to speak, Matt looks like he's going to interrupt me.
Stacy, shut up. The coach, Stacy, shut up. That's a test.
Oh, okay. He's not really there.
That's just what's going to happen when he does step up.
So Matt gets to interrupt us.
Best part of my week.
As meanly as he can. And then we'll send you guys to Mike Macdonald. So again, we're just kind of hanging tight to wait and see him get to the podium. It's going to feel disjointed because we'll interrupt ourselves here. And then we are going to take our own notes, our own takeaways from Macdonald. He certainly seemed frustrated. Someone texted in earlier, did you think he sounded more frustrated than normal during his interview with Brock and Salk and his press conference?
Well, Salk asked him that.
Yeah.
He was a bit more frustrated. I think you're going to see more of the, not that he was being fake, but more of the authentic Mike Macdonald this year than we saw last year. Because I would imagine your first year as a head coach, you're sitting there. There's so many things that are brand new to you, and you're not sure how to maneuver through it all, even though you've had a great example of with Jim Harbaugh of how to do some things. But now it's yours. Now you can make it completely yours. You're established in the building. You're established in the league. And, you don't have to cater to everyone's feelings or needs or stuff. You can just be exactly who you are. So I think, and that's a good thing. If he wants to be frustrated, yeah, be frustrated. Last year it was kind of like, oh, I'm just happy to be here, grateful for the opportunity. Now it's like you get the raw and uncut, and I like that.
Again, sorry if you are interrupted here, but I do have a question about the defense. We haven't gotten to this yet. We've spent so much of the show talking about the offense because that was kind of our story coming from this game. It was Reek Wollen's 2 plays, and then the offense is what we had talked about. But something that Mike Macdonald said on Monday, like 3 times, was the rush and coverage just need to work together. Did they not work together? Or like, what's he alluding to there? He said it 3 times, pass rush and the other guys need to work together.
Well, it did work together to some extent because you created 2 interceptions. Right? And the one with Ernest Jones, if you go to my my Instagram, I'll post it on X today too. I break down exactly what happened. You get a blitz by the film, I can't tell exactly who it is, but you get a blitz up the B gap, which forces Purdy to get on his back foot while the pocket is collapsing on his right side, and he just tosses it up. If you don't get that pressure from the blitz and from the right side of the pocket from the defensive line, chances are he's standing there in that pocket nice and clean, and he doesn't just toss it up, but he feels that pressure, so he tosses it up. Ernest Jones comes down with the interception. That's a perfect example of the rush and the back end working well together. But I'm sure there are times where Macdonald felt like they could have been better.
Maybe it's because he's really, really smart, maybe a perfectionist, has coached the best defense in football in Baltimore, that he's just looking for more pass rush, more from all of it. But I kind of left this game feeling really encouraged by the defense.
I did too. You held the 49ers to 17 points. 2 interceptions. McCaffrey didn't go off on you in the run game. Probably was more effective in the pass game. And you gave your team a chance to win the ball game. No, I think the defense did just fine against the 49ers. There's always some things that you can improve on. If I am the Seahawks, we got to improve on just being where you're supposed to be in the pass game and making plays on the balls in the air. Funny saying that with 2 interceptions, but you're going to go back to the 2 biggest plays in the game and say, all right, you have to make those plays.
Yeah, I think that compared to where they were last year, where it felt like it took until the Ernest trade to really get going, I think there's a lot of time to build on some really promising things here. I still feel like Sheil Kapadia saying, I think they could be the best defense in football, could end up being true. Although there was some great defensive play from this weekend around the league. NFC's just loaded when it comes to the same type of team that Seattle wants to be.
Yeah, I'm looking at week 1 stats, right? Obviously, always wait 3 or 4 weeks before you figure out who a team is. Against the pass, the Hawks gave up 265 yards in the air. That's like the 6th worst. Rushing, they gave up 119. It's like the 10th worst. Points is where they'll look a bit better. They give up 17. That's like the 11th best. So it's you're one game in, and you're still trying to figure out who you are and what needs to improve. And if Mike Macdonald says the front end and the back end need to connect, I'm going to take his word for it. And imagine if they do connect. You caused 2 turnovers already, and he felt like they weren't as connected as he wanted them to be.
He definitely wants to be the offense and defense, the tone of them to be more connected. That was also something he made clear, that maybe this team is still searching for its identity. And I feel like we talk about that so much, and it takes a really long time to establish. And you can want to be a team. To have the personnel and the ability to be that team is a different thing. I think we're going to find out pretty quickly here whether they do. Because, again, you want to be able to run the ball. You have, in theory, an opportunity here. The Steelers are not the best run defense in football. Allowed quite a bit of yardage from the Jets. Different circumstances. But I think there is opportunity after a disappointing week 1 to show that you have that identity.
Yeah, it's growth. Week 1 and 2.
That's on growth.
You're gonna grow. You're gonna grow the most. Random fact.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Fant scored a touchdown this weekend.
Stop.
Yep.
See what
the Bengals.
The Bengals
Scored a touchdown this
I
weekend.
think it was their first touchdown of the game.
You know what? You go, Noah, because that's tough. You get released that late into the into training camp, and then going to another team when most of that roster is kind of set, and you've got to learn their playbook, figure them out, build up that chemistry with the quarterback for the first time. Good for him. That's really exciting. I was hoping for more from these tight ends, Bump. You promised me.
I know I did.
You promised us that these tight ends would be very intriguing this year.
You still got more work to go. When I was watching Arroyo play, the game seemed a little fast for him. It seemed
How so?
a little fast. I'm watching at the tempo he runs his routes, and it looks like he's thinking. He's not just going out there and feeling what the defense is doing and sitting down. There was one route that took so long to develop. I'm like, I've watched this young man play in preseason. I've watched him play at training camp. He runs faster than this. So whenever I see a receiver and tight end and they're moving at such a slow pace, he's thinking too much. And then there's a situation where he runs. It was an option route. I believe it was an option route because of the way that Sam Darnold threw the football. He gets to the top of his route around 5 yards, and he just hooks it up. And Sam throws it to the outside, thinking he's going to run out because there's space out there. And, it's little things like that to where you have to give a rookie some time to grow and fill the game. But it looked fast for him out there.
What are you guys thinking of in that moment, though? Is it like, hey, I'm trying to remember exactly what I'm supposed to do here? Or is it more like, I got to read a defender?
A little bit. It's everything.
Okay.
There's a lot. All right. Alignment, assignment. What's my depth? Who am I running this route off of? Is there an adjustment? Instead of just relying on your training and knowing this is what you're supposed to do. Another thing, too, is like maybe, and that's what's hard about week 1, is that you get in these situations, say it's 2nd and 5, and you're attached to the line of scrimmage. By week 5, you got film on the team, and you can say, this is the look we're probably going to get. In this scenario, this is the look we're probably going to get. There's film on the 49ers from years past, but you never really know until you get out there. So week 1, Niners might throw some things out there to where he wasn't really coached up, and a veteran would be able to decipher what's going on, adjust, and just be fine. But sometimes a rookie, you get out there and you're thinking, that's not what coach said I was gonna see. That's not what it is. But the more reps you get, the more time you're out there, the more you're able to tap into that memory bank of knowledge and say, all right, well, that's not what we thought we were going to see, but this is probably what they're in.
All right. We are still waiting for head coach Mike Macdonald to step up to the podium. We're going to take a quick break, come back.
Seahawks make a move. Wyman and Bob every afternoon at 2.
Abe Lucas signs a 3-year, $46 million extension. How about that?
I've said I think he's the most spectacular offensive lineman until Gray Zabel takes over, because I fully expect that to happen. But when you watch Abe Lucas, it's like, look at this. He's always looking for extra work, or he's running downfield and blowing somebody up.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Love cars? LeMay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma, is packed with 300 stunning classics, family fun, and events year-round. For what's happening next and to plan your visit, go to americascarmuseum.org.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the
Jalen Carter, massive part of that game. Maybe it changes things, but let's talk about another team here. In the NFC, we're going to the Giants. Adam Schefter thinks it's sooner rather than later that we see Jackson Dart.
We all know where this is at. Every time they lose a game, this question's going to come up. If they lose again Sunday, there's going to be more of this conversation because it wasn't shut down this summer. It wasn't shut down
Cut
Sunday.
over, coach.
All right.
Wednesday for us. Had a great morning so far. Great meetings. Guys are locked in. So looking forward to practice. Obviously going to Pittsburgh, so it was our first 10 a.m. game of the year. Had a lot of experience with it last year. So in terms of process, be more of the same rather than a bunch of change-ups. And looking forward to playing in a great environment against a really good football team that we respect a lot. And quite a few changes on their end from last year in terms of roster. So, just one game exposure is a little interesting in terms of how we're scouting them and game planning and stuff. So, as usual, keep it in our wheelhouse and go have a heck of a week and go play a great game.
What degree does having that one game on tape do for both sides, either scouting them or just kind of developing your own game plan?
Yeah, the second game of the year is really tricky because the easy thing to do is put all your eggs in the first game basket. And as we know, you can just hear it. It's probably not the most sound thing to do, given that. So you kind of have to take the nuts and bolts of who they are, how they operate. They have a lot of history, how they work on defense. Offense, it seems like there's a good bit of carryover from last year, and then let's go play our game.
Steelers like to stack the box on defense. They did it against the Jets quite a bit. What discourages a defense from staying in 8+ man boxes?
Well, if you throw it over their head, that's good. Sometimes, like, especially in wide zone game, like wide zone's really built so you can have an 8th guy in the box and you can still run the ball effectively because of the keeper game on the backside, and that's probably the biggest thing. There's the windows of being in single high. I'm assuming you're meaning single high. Whether you're in cover 3 or cover 1 are a little bit different, but the passes tend to be a little bit more explosive. Run game as well. I'm sorry, Greg. Run game as well. If like you get in the alley and you're on the post safety, like that's tough. If you put everybody in the middle, you're a little light outside.
What's the biggest for you to scheme against Aaron Rodgers? What's the biggest challenge?
Obviously the arm talent and the quarterback ability is there, but the Aaron Rodgers, the operator, is second to none. He's on his game. He kind of like knows everything, so you have to assume that going in, and not a lot of tricking going on. So it's going to be we're going to have to win our one-on-ones to have a good game on defense. We're going to have to play great run defense, and in the pass game we're going to have to win our one-on-one battles.
Is there an added challenge in game planning when it's a new quarterback in that system, a newish offensive coordinator, and the head coach has been there forever?
Yeah, you can attribute some things that you've seen in the first game to kind of all 3 buckets. Some things from last year. Like I said, it's tricky, So if you're going to start if I want to start playing like doctor and diagnosing everything, that's not a smart thing to do. So, and as the game unfolds, I think you'll start to get some of those answers about, how they're trying to attack you and by situation and how they're, using their people. Again, it's the similar roster. Obviously DK's there now, and they lost Pickens, but a lot of the same core guys were playing last year. Like the tight ends and the backs. So
Rodgers is renowned for his snap counts, but his play action traits as well combined. What does that do to the pass rush? What do you have to keep?
Well, like I said, his operation is just really great. That includes throughout the play as well. So, it's Aaron Rodgers for a reason. All those details add up over such a long period of time.
You mentioned familiarity with their defense. Numbers aside from week 1, what do you know to be true about the way they play?
On their defense?
Defense.
Yeah, they're an opportunistic group. They play with a great spirit. They play with physicality. They do, they're different than us in how they're kind of built and how they play some of their coverages. So that's going to be a big point of emphasis for our offense and our look team this year to give a great look, or this week, to give a great look so our guys have a great feel going into the game.
Do you think look different about how they're using DK, or how did having him kind of change their offense at all?
Again, it's one game. You have one game of how many plays? Like 50-something plays. The things that he does well are the things that they're doing with him, which is great. It's runaways. It's outside lane throws. All the routes that he runs really well. He's running those routes. Frankly, it's similar to the stuff we were doing with him last year. We got to be ready for everything, right? They're allowed to put him anywhere they want, and he's allowed to run any route that they got called for him.
What do you need to see from your run game? Because I know you talked about the leverage and the backs reading the play.
Yeah, just stick with the process. Look, there's a handful of runs that didn't go our way on Sunday, and a handful of runs went our way. Sometimes it goes like that. We want them to go more in our favor than not. It's not for a lack of effort, and we've done a lot of great things throughout the preseason, which you saw in all 3 games. So let's stick with it, man. We're doing a lot of great stuff. Let's just keep getting better.
You see teams utilizing a quick passing game a lot. Is that usually to help, alleviate pressure on the offensive line or the quarterback or beating blitzes? What are some of the reasons teams rely on it?
I think you got to look at it in context. Is it quick passing game on 3rd and short? Well, that's kind of expected. The non-expected thing is, the ball's downfield, which, by the way, Rodgers probably does better than anybody on some of those higher leverage throws that he throws so well. Is it quick game on 3rd and long, which you probably wouldn't expect, which also they do. So it's just context is probably the driver there. Is it on 1st and 10? Normally to get the quarterback going and get him in rhythm. Bob wants me to stop talking, so. Clearly. It's all right. Go ahead, Bob.
And I'm going to ask it back. Any update on Nick Emenwari and where things might stand with him?
So I said that we were going to have a decision here in the next day or two. I think we're going to take it throughout the week to decide what we're going to do. So sorry about that.
The energy of the guys here, turning the leaf into a new week, putting the tough one behind them.
Yeah, the guys are doing great. It's a disappointing outcome when what happened on Sunday, but we got to remind ourselves we haven't worked the last 6 or so months the way they have just for one game. You're doing it for the long haul, and it's really important that we stick to our process. That we were very bought in going into the game. That we've been doing a lot of great things, which I believe that we have, and the guys believe we have, and we're going to stick to that. And trust that we're going to keep getting better.
You guys, you talked about how fast Sam played. Only had, I think, 2 quarterback hits on him.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you balance that with also being able to push the ball down the field?
Well, it depends on the type of passes. Same thing. I mean, what's the timing of the play that we're looking for? I think that he's executing that of what we're asking him to do. So if the plays are called where it's a longer timing play, longer developing play, then Sam's done that as well. If it's more of a rhythm passing type play, then that's what he's executing on Sunday. So.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you have a general benchmark of, hey, this is how many explosive passing plays you feel like you need to get in a certain game?
Yeah, we have a number that we're shooting for on a per game basis of explosive plays that we want to get on offense, and we didn't hit that mark on Sunday.
Some teams do it I think it's 16 yards is an explosive passing play, 12 is an explosive run. What's your definition of that?
It's kind of I don't know, what's the difference? You have a sweep play and it's 15 yards, you're not going to count it. I think that's kind of nitpicky, so it's more like it when you see it type of play. Yeah.
When you introduced Clint Kubiak, you said that a DK Metcalf plan was a top of mind for a lot of the coordinators you interviewed.
Yeah.
Do you think things would have been different in maybe how you're interviewing some of those guys if your roster was constructed the way it is now?
That's an interesting question. I think it's always going to be through. You always have to consider the guys, the personnel on your team. Like when we were standing here last week, and we were talking about, Kyle's system versus our system versus McVay's system. It's all kind of built on the same nuts and bolts, but a common denominator that separates, I think, these kind of trees of offense is how they use their personnel. So I think it's smart to include that in the conversation about what you're looking for. But there's principles too that are going to be consistent no matter whether offensive coordinator. I mean, obviously there's going to be things through a lens of how we're going to run our offense that we're going to ask. But there's also things that you want to ask in terms of, the people that you want to bring into your team.
You've talked about Josh Jacobs' play on the field, but what is his constant readiness? What does that tell you about him? That on a moment's notice,
Yeah, I love telling the story because, this time last year he wasn't playing for us, and this is a guy that has come in and really bought into the process, and the details matter for him, and he does it every day. And it's just there's a consistency there that you respect, and he's earned these opportunities, which is really cool. I mean, if you were the coach of a team, wouldn't you want it to work like that? Like guys coming in, earning their opportunities, developing, growing as players, as people. That's what he's done.
Just when the receiving numbers are the way they are, Jackson had so many of the receptions compared to anybody else. So perception is maybe the other guys weren't open or whatever. How did you kind of when you looked at it?
I think after looking back at it, I mean that's where the ball should have gone, and we have plays designed for other people as well. But I think you're looking at a combination of Jack's playing at a high level, being in a position where Sam can pull the trigger wherever he's at in the progression. But the ball will find its way around. I'm convinced of that.
Call more plays for the other guys?
I think we were calling plays for other guys. He's either he wasn't the primary, maybe he's number 2, and that's where Sam got to or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you're going to use your people in different ways and try to call plays for their strengths for sure.
You're just talking about guys stepping up. Cody White's another one who wasn't playing for you last year, was on the practice squad.
Yep.
He had a nice kick return this game. What is it about him? It seems like when he's gotten the opportunities, he's always been able to take.
Yeah, we saw it in the Rams game last year. We've seen there's definitely a record of this throughout the off seasons, and he's another guy that's earned his opportunity. And it's a great lesson for young guys how important special teams are to the equation. At the end of the day, you can't dress everybody, and he's earned that right to be a special team stalwart for us. And when asked upon on offense, he's produced.
Were heavy 11 personnel last year, and they were heavy 12 in this first week game.
Right.
Without Nick, how does that affect your ability to defend tight ends?
Yeah, well, probably not going to tell you how we're going to match him this week. We'll let him figure that out on Sunday. But they do a great job with their personnel. They play a lot of their people. They play all their tight ends, including Hayward, who's a good player. Mix and match receivers. They play a lot of guys. So. It's a little different than most teams that you play that kind of have their crew and they stick with it. So that's how they choose to operate, and it works for them.
With Nick and waiting until later in the week, is that just a matter of giving it more time to see how his ankle is doing and responding?
That's a big part of it. Yeah.
What are you seeing from Drake Thomas that gives the confidence in him that, like you said, he's earned the right to play? I think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he has. He's. I think you'd agree with me. He had a great training camp, and when putting those positions in preseason games, he produced, and I thought he did that on Sunday. So he's keeping, like we're going to have competition on our team. I mean, you start saying this guy's the guy, and it's just you can easily fall. Like, we don't want to operate like that. You fall into the trap that you've made it. Not saying our guys think that, but we want a sense of urgency that we're competing all the time. I'm looking at Leo right here, but like this guy's. I'm putting him up against anybody else in the league, but he still knows, like, when it's time to rush, he's got to produce, because we got guys that want opportunities too. And so it's the same thing with the defensive line. It's the same thing with our offensive line. Same thing at linebacker. We're seeing the same thing right now with Reek. I mean, so it's great, man. Our guys are getting better. I mean, that just tells you we have multiple people that have earned rights to play, and that's good for us. People are going to get better from the competition.
Seen a few games now. I think even the Miami game last year too, where you've rotated the backers. There is there something that's maybe more sustainable about doing it there versus like last year you said you didn't want to do the right guard rotation in game. Is there something different about the backer spot where you can maybe do it longer?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can. Depends on we were in and out of different personnel, especially when Nick was available. We still got to 3 different subgroups on Sunday. And we've always operated like that. We've always had that ability. So, no, I mean, you're moving and shifting everybody is probably not the best thing. You'd like to have some consistency in the middle, especially with the green dot. Like, you don't prefer to change guys with the green dot. But if it's best for us, I think that's sustainable.
If Uchenna is able to go this week, what does he bring to the team?
Man, I mean, talk about layup of the century. He's I mean, outside of what we know what he brings. I mean, the guy's incredibly smart. He's tough as crap. Great all-around football player. Great game runner. Great intuition. But I mean, he's a leader for us. I mean, this is a guy that I know you haven't felt it on the field as much in the last year, but he's bringing it every day in the meeting room, in the building for our football team. So it's just going to be awesome if whenever he gets back, just to have him out there.
Is he going to practice in full today?
I'm not sure. He's not going to practice the whole practice, I don't think, but he'll be out there.
Mike,
watch him practice full today. Then.
You've had Darian Kendrick and Chess for a week now. What have you kind of learned about those guys as they jumped in the mix?
Yeah, two great competitors. Felt Chaz on special teams did a good job. DK just kind of soaking it up right now, but great competitor, great spirit, great energy about him. Smart guys.
You mentioned Reek there in that answer about guys competing. Is Reek going to start this week?
We'll see.
Responded to this week.
He's great. He's great. I mean, we had a similar situation last year, and I mean, all of our guys, every person we've had a conversation about what their role is going to be and things like that. One, I mean, you need to operate like that as a coaching staff. Keep it real with them. But they've been tremendous. You know, tell them with love, tell them the truth, and let's go to work. So.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that was the latest from Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald speaking with reporters. A couple minutes here to react to a little bit of what he said. Quickly, an update on Nick Emanwari. He mentioned on Monday, hey, we hope to have a decision on whether or not we place him on the IR in the next 48 hours. Today, he said, look, I'm sorry, we're going to take the whole week to kind of decide, and that's going to be to see how he responds. What does this defense look like? How does it shift without Nick out there?
Well, you lose. Here's the thing about Nick. He only played like 5-6 plays.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the impact, and I'm like, well.
So we don't really know.
Yeah.
You know, so Ty Akata comes in, and, you know, George Kittle runs around on him, scores a touchdown, and people are yelling, what if Nick Emanwari was in there? We don't know because Nick is a rookie. So what's his impact? I don't know. I think it might change the personnel packages that they put out there, but his effect on the game, that's all projection. We really don't know what he can or can't do on the football field because we only saw him for 5-6 plays during preseason and then 5-6 plays during the regular season. The coaches know more than we do. They're around him all the time. But as far as us, I hadn't seen enough to really understand the impact.
He sounded pretty optimistic that Uchenna Nwosu could maybe make it back this week. On Monday, he said, hey, it's looking good. We're optimistic. Today, he said, whenever we get him back, we're going to be really excited. He's a leader on this team. Just kind of really focusing on his impact. Was asked if he'd practice fully today and said, we're not expecting him to be out there the whole time, but he will be out there, so he's getting back into the swing of things. I know that Uchenna Nwosu is talented and has surprised me in his tenure with Seattle, but he's been dealing with injuries that sometimes I think I forget how impactful he can be.
That's another one we ain't seen in a while.
You know?
Right? But when you go back to McDonald's comments of, we need to connect the front end with the back end, I think Uchenna would definitely help with that. He's explosive when he's out there. He's strong. He's one of the stronger edge rushers you have out there. And then emotionally, he's a leader as well. The more the better over there with that edge and defensive line, get that rotation going. So, yes, you want a guy like Uchenna out there. But then again, you don't know exactly what he's going to bring because we haven't seen him in a while. When he's healthy, I think he's, one of the best edge rushers on this team. So hopefully he brings that same type of energy.
Someone you did get a long look at, obviously, watching film is Josh Jobe. How about this one? Mike Macdonald asked whether or not Reek Woolen is going to be the starter and says, we'll see.
Competition.
Yo, you're on
I
notice.
like that. Like, look, man, if you don't do your job to the level that you're expected to do it, naturally there are going to be questions. And I truly feel like Reek can bounce back from this. Nothing's guaranteed. He's made some mistakes before. Everyone makes mistakes in a football game or throughout their career. No one's perfect, but it's just the how do I say it?
Je ne sais quoi.
in which the timing of his mistakes, the big mistakes, are jarring and concerning to folks, and it should be. And it's concerning to the coaching staff. So you do create competition because Josh Jobe has been a solid football player on this team.
And to be fair, Mike Macdonald chose to look at it as a good thing. I know that some people say if you don't have an answer there, it's always bad. Like if you don't have an answer as to who's the best guy, it's bad. But he said we have multiple people that have earned the right to play, and that's good for us.
Yeah.
Is that a fair way to look at it?
Yeah, exactly. You rather have a guy who's a lockdown corner and who's going to be there for the whole year. But if you don't have that and you feel comfortable playing a guy behind him, then, yeah, good for you. That means you've done your research, you've developed guys, and you put them in a position to where if you need to break the glass, he's ready to go.
Okay, last one. We're going to offense for this one. Just a minute left here. But I thought it was an interesting question asked by Brady. He said, do you have a number of explosive plays you want to get to in a game? And Mike said, yes, why we do. And we did not get to that number on Sunday. And then Brady said, hey, previously we don't understand explosive play is a run play over 12 yards, pass play over 16. Is that how you define it? And Mike said, no, because I don't get that nitpicky with it. If you've got a big play, goes 15 yards, it feels kind of silly to say that wasn't explosive, so you know it when you see it. Do you agree with that approach on explosive plays? You know it when you see it? We know 40 yards is an explosive play, but like maybe a 10-yard run when it's a really physical run that breaks the game open can be an explosive play too.
Explosive plays for me gets first downs. First downs, because that's why you play the game. Get first downs to score touchdowns.
So like a first
personally,
and 10 that goes 12 yards?
Yeah.
Not an explosive play, but
no, it's
okay.
explosive because you move the sticks, you move the chains. So but no, I like the 20 yards for a pass play and over 10 for a run play.
Yeah, I think the run could be a little lower.
Yeah.
Over 12 is tough.
Yeah. As a 10 plus.
I'll take 10 plus on a run play. All right, we're going to take a look around the NFL coming up next.
The area of the team we were most curious about, Wyman and Bob, was the offense. Every afternoon at 2.
I thought it was going to be closer to what it looked like against Kansas City with being able to run the ball.
It seemed awfully conservative, and I don't know if that's, hey, let's just dip our toe in the water and get our feet wet here. It just seemed like the play calling was very safe for the most part.
They're just not playing together right now.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service, 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game Sunday, September 21st. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, September 9th through September 15th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Rick Riz here with a big thank you to everyone who submitted a nomination for Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program.
Thanks, Rick. This is Elisa with Pella Windows and Doors. With so many amazing entries, we decided to award 2 additional teams with $2,500 prizes. We are thrilled to announce Team Wilder Basketball and Linwood High School Football.
Thanks to you and Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington for helping our local youth thrive.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
From
while he is nursing this back injury, and maybe that becomes an issue, Micah's a huge part of it. It's really hard not to see that as the dumbest thing you could do.
If Micah were to make it to a Super Bowl, it'd be the same as when the Giants let Saquon go to Philly and they went to a Super Bowl. 2 big moves made in the NFL. And listen, even without Micah going to the Packers were still in a better position than the Dallas Cowboys were when it comes to making a run at the Super Bowl. You listen to Jerry's logic behind it, even if you don't agree with it. You did get some picks. You are kind of in a rebuild mode, yet you're still competitive. You almost beat the Eagles the other day. If they end up making the playoffs and looking decent, then Jerry Jones could come out of this thing looking really smart.
Ahead of their Super Bowl rematch, Patrick Mahomes was asked whether he's ever gone back to watch film of their Super Bowl loss to the Eagles.
I watch every game after, so you have to learn from it. I mean, it sucks that you lose the game, but in order to progress and to be better next time, you have to watch it and learn from it. And so I don't know the exact amount of times, but you watch it, and you watch it in the offseason with the team and with the coaches, and then you watch it obviously this week as well. And so they had a great game plan. They played hard and did a great job of disrupting my timing. And so I have to learn from that, find ways to get the ball out of my hand, and then when the opportunities are there, I think that's something I did miss early in the game, is there was opportunities to make plays, and you got to make those plays, because if you don't, they're not going to allow those opportunities again.
To be fair, Bump, I have always wondered what film study looks like for the Super Bowl losing team. You don't have a week to prepare for. Your season is over. You don't want to revisit the worst loss, but he's right. You do learn from it. Do you think everyone rewatches it back? Back to baseball. Sports Illustrated is going to have a new cover story featuring Cal Raleigh helping to lead the Mariners, fingers crossed, to the playoffs. And Stephanie Apstein learned a ton about Cal during a couple interviews. She shares it with us next.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks rookie receiver Torrey Horton.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tomorrow night from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be like really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good
crew that takes care of your customer base. You have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Summer can be the best time of the year, but if it's not feeling good in your house, if it's turning into an oven, some of the problems might be because you don't have enough insulation in your crawl space or attic. In fact, many homes in our region have damaged insulation or even none at all. Yeah, it's Mike Salk here, and you got to get somebody to check on it. That's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and do a full corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic. And if it turns out that you've got a problem with your insulation and maybe that's leading to bigger energy bills, guess what? Local utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of getting your house properly insulated. In fact, if you're a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to get your attic properly insulated. Yep, 95%. Call Crawl Pros if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners are taking on the Cardinals tonight at 6:40 p.m. It's a 5:30 p.m. pregame show right here on Seattle Sports. They're also looking for a bit of help here from both the Brewers and Blue Jays. Houston-Toronto isn't on until later this afternoon, but Brewers-Rangers is in the fifth right now. Texas up 3-2.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Stephanie Apstein's latest, Cal Raleigh is carrying the Mariners with glute force, is available to read now from Sports Illustrated, and she joins us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook hotline to talk about her story. Stephanie, how's it going?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's going well, thanks. How are you?
Great, and we are happy to have you. Cal's been an unbelievable story this year. I know you talked with a lot of people about Cal, and there are other parts of the story I want to get to, but I think I want to start at the very, very beginning. I can guess why you'd want to write the story, right? A big story in baseball, but what in particular were you curious to find out? Like, what was kind of the intention behind it to start?
Well, I think as we talked about it, we joked we couldn't exactly say we had discovered Cal Raleigh in, August of 2025, but I think what was interesting to SI in general and to me in particular is his life has really sort of blown up over the last year or so, 2 years. And from what I understood about him going in, and it turned out to be true, he's not really a guy who he didn't get into this to be famous. You know, some people really thrive with the fame, and he's not really one of them. And so I was curious to know how a person who's in the most selfless position manages the fact that everybody only wants to talk about him. And as it turns out, he's not crazy about that fact.
What's the most impressive thing? I know you might have mentioned it in your response there, but what's the most impressive thing you learned about Cal just outside of actually playing baseball?
I think, some of this is almost a caricature, but he's still driving. His parents had to talk him out of buying a used car. They were like, you can afford a big car, a new car. He's taking, the team teases him because he's still taking Uber X. And they're like, again, man, you signed for $100 million. You can afford Uber Black. So I think some of that is funny. We hear that. That's a stereotype of some athletes. But I think in this case, it actually reflects something about who Cal tries to be, who he sort of understands himself to be as a person and how he wants to live and behave. And I think his teammates love it.
I learned something from this story and then had to confirm with Mariners PR, and it was the nuts of the game. Again, your words, what it's called.
Their words.
I didn't know, everyone knows about the Trident. Everyone knows about, random stuff about the team. I didn't know about the nuts of the game. And what I liked finding out is that Cal gives the award out, so he's rarely the one actually winning it. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, I was kind of laughed because I didn't know about them either. I saw them in George Kirby's locker after a win in Baltimore. And I texted some other writers and I was like, do we know that the Mariners hand out gold testicles to the best player of the game? And they were like, oh, I didn't know that. I had to Google Mariners gold testicles, which was probably weird for anyone behind me. Just to make sure. But yeah, it makes sense, right? It's the guy who's got the most intestinal fortitude of the game. But I was kind of asking about it, and it emerged that Cal is the one who gives them out, which means that he, because of who he is, never receives them, which is so funny because basically every night Cal is the player of the game. But he's only gotten them once or twice, and only when his teammates refuse to accept them. And that, I think, is also pretty standard Cal. That's what I came to sort of understand. This is who this guy is. He doesn't like the spotlight. When he talked to me about it, he was like, basically sometimes there's a reliever who keeps the game in check long enough to let me hit a game-winning home run, and that guy should be recognized. And it's like, all right, man, I guess I think MVP voters maybe see it differently, but they love it. He really, if this is an act, it's an incredibly good one. I think he really does believe that he sees himself as a guy who's sort of in the background, and I think he thinks that is what the team needs, and he's been right.
Do we know how long this award has been circling the clubhouse? Is it this year? Is it something new, or has this been going on?
My understanding is this year.
Okay, perfect.
That Cal and his dad talked about his goals for the year, and everybody's talking about the home runs and the shutouts caught and whatever, but for him, he really wanted to be more of a leader. I think he looked around the team and he felt like it was starting to be his time, and so one of the ways he wanted to lead was he wanted to make sure that everybody felt recognized and that they celebrated every one of the wins, because you hear them say this a lot, but it's true. It's really hard to win a game. And so he wanted to celebrate every win.
Was there any quote, interaction, a note that just kind of was left on the cutting room floor where you're like, it wasn't quite fit for the story, but it's something that maybe you just remembered from your conversations with Cal? Or I know you talked to, obviously, his dad and Logan and a couple other people around him.
One thing actually that I thought was kind of interesting that didn't make it in there is that Cal has really had a resurgence since he started doing this drill that Edgar Martinez suggested to him, where they put the tee so far back that it forces him to swing up on the ball, and so he doesn't drop down. And he started doing that in spring training, and he's been very successful since. And around the All-Star break, Julio Rodriguez was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing in the cage, by the way?" And Cal showed him the drill, and Julio started doing it. And we've seen what Julio has done in the second half. So I thought that was kind of cool that you're seeing his impact all over the place.
Going off of what I think I know of Cal and how you've explained what you know of Cal, I might know the answer to this, but how focused is Cal on all of the accolades that he's accomplished so far this year and what maybe is soon to come?
I think he couldn't frankly be less interested in the stuff that is related to him only. People are sort of having to beg him to do some of the appearances that he's been asked to do, some of the media. They're kind of trying to remind him, this could be a once in a lifetime opportunity. You should take it. But even doing the home run derby, it wasn't really about him. He was telling people beforehand that he only wanted to do it because his dad could pitch and his brother could catch, that he wasn't, he said he didn't care if he hit a single home run, that he just wanted to give them that experience. And I think some of that comes from being the son of a coach, that he has seen his whole life that the way to make a team great is to focus on the team rather than yourself. And I think part of that is the kind of person he is naturally. Part of that is being a catcher, but it all combines to create this person who is really not really focused on what he is doing except as how that helps the team.
Cal may be entirely uninterested in the home run chase. I am very interested and very eager to see how far it goes. And I think in part, Stephanie, to me, why we loved your column and why just the story of Cal's season is really fascinating is that it has challenged my own way of thinking when it comes to team value, catcher impact, what a catcher could be capable of. And everyone loves baseball stories where you got, an everyman who becomes a hero. And those are just fun to watch in general. But you have the benefit of talking with a lot of national voices and people around baseball. Do you find other people kind of maybe changing the way that they think about MVP or those kinds of contributions?
Yeah, I think you've seen this has been happening over years. I don't want to attribute it solely to Cal, but with the batting average that he's putting up, that's not a standard MVP candidate. But I think people are starting to realize that there's a lot more that goes into the performance that he's having. And I also think that people are having maybe a different reaction to what he's doing for this fan base. I was talking to a couple of writers the other day about the American League. What's the matchup we expect that Fox would be rooting for because Fox has the American League in the playoffs this year. And obviously they're going to want the Red Sox and the Yankees, but we actually think that probably the third most fun national storyline is the Mariners, because it's a town that is so invested in this team, a team that hasn't won, that's got a bunch of really fun stars. The ballpark's going to be rocking. I think the energy that he and the team are bringing to the city is really cool to see.
It is, and it's something that I think the city needs, right, with the struggles that the Seahawks have had and then the Mariners as well. We desperately need
You
this.
guys have earned a good baseball team.
I
Man,
think so.
For real. Say it again.
Thank you, Stephanie.
When you look at just the race for the AL West, I gave up a few weeks ago. Not gave up, but I started to just focus on the wild card. Now I'm back
Sure.
in the AL race. Just how do you see this whole thing shaping up, and what do you think of the Astros and everyone else that's competing for this?
I mean, I've watched too many Astros games down the stretch in October to ever count the Astros out. But I think this. I really think that this Mariners team has something. I think that they even with the injuries, they've really got the pitching. This young core on the hitting side is really dynamic. I think I can't say that I think they're going to win the division necessarily, but I do think that this team will make some noise no matter how they get into the postseason. And I think this is a team that is actually equipped if they have to play a wild card series. It's a team that's probably equipped to make it out of it.
I started thinking when we were talking about, or you mentioned like this is a team that's been long suffering. I was thinking it's also a team where fans have really felt pained over maybe a lack of moves or wanting to see more spending. And I remembered that part of your story was also talking about Cal having that meeting with DePoto and Hollander. And while we've read about that, I hadn't previously seen that he had like texted after the Naylor trade to say like A++. I'm sure you've obviously covered lots of different stories around baseball. How common is it for some players to be in that kind of role with that kind of freedom of expression maybe, or ability to advocate for themselves or the team when it comes to conversations with the GM?
It's a great question. I think you would hope that your stars would be that invested, but a lot of them are not, and especially at this young an age, I think that's pretty unusual. I think the fact that Jerry goes in there and asks Cal if he's thinking about acquiring a player, because Cal either knows the guy himself or has an opinion on him from playing against him, I think that's pretty cool. And that level of detail, it's unusual enough that you can kind of name the other players who are like that. Like I said, Jerry told me that, and I was like, oh, he sounds kind of like Zach Greinke. And it was like, yes, exactly. And Greinke used to, go scout the team's prospects. He used to be scouting high schoolers. Like, that's an unusual level of dedication. And as I said, it's unusual enough that you can make the comp to other players who do that sort of thing.
How much time or how impressive is Cal's preparation? I think we've heard Dan talk about the meetings prior to each game and all the work that he puts in. Does he go above and beyond, or is it standard practice when it comes to the catcher position?
I mean, the catcher position these days does require a lot of work. I think switch hitting also, he probably doesn't get quite enough credit for how much work that takes, that everything he does, he has to do twice. And I think, too, that he's been doing this forever. I mean, Jerry told me a story about he was with Modesto, in the minors, and he showed up one day, and Cal's not playing that day, but he's sitting on a baseball, like a bucket of balls, and he's charting Logan Gilbert's pitches. And Jerry asked the pitching coach, like, why do you have him doing that? And they were like, we don't have him doing that. He just does that. And Cal explained that he wanted to understand how Gilbert saw himself as a pitcher, and so that he could use what he understood of that to call games in the future. And the team was so impressed that now all of their young catchers chart in the minor leagues. They thought it was such a good idea. So I think the literal amount of time that he spends on meetings is maybe probably on the higher end of standard. That a lot of catchers are doing a lot of work, but I think the amount of himself that he puts into it is fairly unusual, and it helps that he's been around these guys so many. I mean, we joke about how many trades Jerry makes, but it's true that most of the core has been there his whole career now, and he really deeply understands these guys. He sort of talks to them about how they view their careers. He wants Luis Castillo, like, none of these guys shake. Basically, they think that Cal has put in so much work that they think Andres Munoz was like, I never have a better idea than Cal does. He's always thought about it more than I have. And I think that is a level of faith and confidence that you don't always see in such a young catcher.
All right, last one for you here. And much like Bump, I want to take a broader look at the American League. We're so used to, for the last couple of years, a pretty tight race in the AL West. But we've been having conversations all year, particularly with national folks, about how the American League as a whole just feels a little more unpredictable this year. Is that how it feels to you? And
Definitely.
Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of the teams I think there's been a lot of injuries. Like you might have expected the Yankees to take off, and then they lose Garrett Cole. I think that a lot of teams got hit pretty early. But I think that you're also seeing some of this is the impact of the third wild card slot, that teams don't necessarily feel like they have to try to win 95 games when winning 85 will get you there. So you're seeing fewer super teams. There's also a lot of problems with, as I'm sure you guys are familiar with, the local TV rights holder disputes, and that there is somewhat less money, but there's also a lot less uncertainty about how much money there will be. And so I think some teams are reluctant to spend. And I think, we're coming up on a new CBA. I think there's just a little bit of uncertainty. And so no one is people are less willing to be the one to fork over a ton of money for a free agent. And it turns out that typically, as Cal has said, spending sometimes is the name of the game. That's how you get the good players. And so the good players are a little more evenly distributed right now because there are fewer teams willing to just scoop everybody up.
Cal Raleigh is carrying the Mariners with glute force, available now from Sports Illustrated, sportsillustrated.com. She is Stephanie Apstein. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what has film on the Steelers shown you?
The film has shown me that Aaron Rodgers is in the perfect offense for what he's capable of doing at this point of his career. Arthur Smith, at least one game in, is not going to ask him to throw the football deep down the field like he used to with the Green Bay Packers. It's a lot of run, play action type stuff, dink and dunk, and allow your young playmakers to do that and make plays. We saw DK Metcalf at 68 yards after the catch, at second best in the NFL after week 1 behind Zay Flowers. And it's shown me that I have a different respect for DK. When he's on your squad, you respect him and understand what he can do to a defense. But when you have to defend him, it just feels different. You're on the other side of things, and you see just how powerful and how strong he is. He does have the drops. He was 4 catches on 7 targets. A couple of those were just blatant drops, which we know that he's liable to do. But when he gets going, he gets going. And this is going to be interesting. You got to go over to Pittsburgh. You got to play against a defense that struggled against a mobile quarterback in Justin Fields. You don't necessarily have that here. But there should be points to be had out there. But I definitely look at what the Steelers are doing offensively. Makes complete sense for Aaron Rodgers, and DK looked pretty good.
Random question. I didn't ask you this earlier. Did watching DK as an op, so getting that new perspective, I know you mentioned, hey, it brought a new appreciation. Did it make you think in any way, I wish we would have done this? Or, was there anything the Steelers did where you're like, that's interesting?
No, I think...
Because we've seen him in a couple offenses here in Seattle,
yeah.
so...
No.
Okay.
No, I think DK is good at what he's good at. And he's not a real versatile type of receiver. So each coordinator kind of figure out what he's good at.
Okay, second down. Who deserves more playing time, and who deserves a second chance?
Josh Jobe deserves more playing time, but he did play about 80% of the snaps. It's not like he's not on the football field, but he's playing some good football as of late and right now. Who deserves a second chance? I'm going to say Rick Woolen. I know people are calling for him. He did give up 2 big plays. Pearsall down the sideline, and then the touchdown that he gave up. He did save a touchdown as well near the goal line earlier in the game. He's done some good, but the 2 glaring moments are huge, and people are coming for him. And we heard Mike Macdonald say that he's not sure if Rick is going to start or not. But I think that if you do have the game that Rick had, you made a play or 2 but gave up some big ones, it should be competition. Nothing in this league is guaranteed, and you got to show week after week that you're capable of being consistent and playing solid football. So Rick, if he's not getting it done within the first 2 quarters, then something's gonna change over there. But Josh Jobe needs some more playing time. Not like he hasn't been out there, though. He played 80% of the snaps.
Mike Macdonald said that the mistake that Reek made with the Tungus touchdown was in body positioning. And then he said the mistake for that Ricky Pearsall reception was technique. What's the mistake on the Pearsall reception that Reek made?
He's in track the football.
Okay.
I mean, he's in position, and then you see him look up for the ball, and he slows down. So there might be some tracking issues going on when it comes to Rick and finding the ball.
Third down. How did the Seahawks tap into what we thought the offense was going to be?
They got to get under center, run the dang ball, and play action. I think they went into this game wanting to be an outside zone team. That's what they want to be. That's what Mike Macdonald says they're going to be. But the 49ers defensive line and box was better than what anyone gives them credit for. Even now to this day, I talked to some of my Seahawks fans, and they're like, oh, they should have murdered them. And man, look at the film. That defensive line was really good.
They thought they should have murdered the 49ers defensive line?
No, just the team in general.
Oh.
Like they should have murdered them.
I don't know about that.
I'm thinking, well, you're thinking with emotions. You go back and watch the tape, and that D-line is good. And Fred Warner was running from sideline to sideline, making plays. They just weren't able to set the edge. So how do you get back to it? You're just stubborn with it. There are a lot of snaps where they're in shotgun. Needs to be under center a bit more to establish that run, and that will open up the play action a bit more. So, yeah, just getting back to the basics. But I think against this box, they'll have more success because that 49ers team was pretty good.
I always feel like the 49ers have that personnel advantage, and they're just teams around the league where it's like the difference between these two teams in this moment is they have that guy and you don't, right? And the Seahawks have had that advantage before in places, but like, man, every time every time the Seahawks face the 49ers, I watch that game, or every time I watch the Seahawks take on, like when Aaron Donald was with the Rams, you're just like, there's no answer.
Yeah.
All you can do, and if I was a GM, I'd be like, it's not fair.
What can you do?
Yeah, where was my number 2 overall pick to get Nick Bosa? I would have taken him too.
Just throw your hands up.
I know, 4th down. What's one of the biggest disappointments after week 1?
Well, it's disappointing because it affects me directly.
Oh, okay.
They still won the football game, but A.J. Brown had 1 target. I don't care what time of the year it is, who you're playing against. Brown needs at least 6 to 7 targets, minimum. That is minimum. But they still got the W. They still beat the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. Their season is off to the right, off on the right foot. But me personally, I need that for my fantasy team. We still won. We're good. We still won. Still 1-0. 3-0 on the weekend, so let's get it. But A.J. Brown, as a receiver, will get frustrated fairly quickly if we're not getting our targets. So if you want to keep him happy, you got to feed him. Because last year, I think there was some drama on the sidelines with him not getting the football as well. So, yeah, just be careful. Make sure he gets his targets.
You know what I was upset about? While we're just venting about our fantasy football weeks, I lost in week 1. I was convinced the Seahawks would be so stubborn with the run that as a late pick, I took both Walker and Charbonnet because I thought I never have like some people will get like both the entire Lions running back group, where you'll be like, I'm gonna get both and I'm gonna look at it as like a tandem and I'm gonna just dominate this run for this offense. And I thought, look at me out fantasy footballing people. Nothing. Got a touchdown. I left Zach on the bench.
Oh, you left Zach on the bench?
It was foolish of me.
Well,
I'm sorry.
No, we all felt that Ken was still going to get the bulk of the carries.
I thought that they'd be real stubborn with it.
Yeah, they will this week. I believe they will.
Well, for our sake, I hope the Eagles and the Seahawks change their offensive approach. Their whole identity, frankly, just to help us win this week. All right, let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Mariners are on tonight. They go for a sweep of the Cardinals. Pre-game show starts at 5:30 p.m. First pitch coming up at 6:40 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. Still to come, get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up at 1:45. 866-979-3776. I have a couple about the Seahawks, but I could use a couple more about anything. Doesn't have to be sports. Again, text it now for What I Need to Know coming up at 1:45. Talking college ball with ESPN's Adam Rittenberg coming up next.
One game back.
Massive bat flip as this one sails away. Goodbye, Josh Naylor.
On a 5-game win streak and just a game back of Houston in the AL West, the Mariners go for a sweep of the Cardinals tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, pregame at 5:30.
One game out of first place.
It's the Mariners' push to the playoffs, and it's only on Seattle Sports on 710 in the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you. irgpt.com.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm joined by Tim Hunter, who underwent treatment in February. Tim, what's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's a Washington Wednesday. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Adam, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. We have questions around college football, but I'm going to start with a Washington question because for the second consecutive week, Jonah Coleman named Big Ten Co-Offensive Player of the Week. Is he someone who should be getting more attention on a national level?
Absolutely, and I think he will when the competition level goes up for Washington as they get into Big Ten play. Certainly Apple Cup will help a little bit, but he's a guy who's been around for a while. He was an accomplished player for Washington last year, but he's off to a blistering start in an offense that I have really high hopes for. Not just for the start of the year, but really throughout the entire season. So, I think the Big Ten is looking for new faces at running back to emerge with Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins moving on, and obviously the Penn State backs are two that get a lot of attention. But I think Jonah belongs right there with them as a national guy that we're talking about.
What do you make of this team? I mean, you put up 70 against UC Davis, 38 against Colorado. You got to respect the numbers, but you realize the competition they're going up against. Just your overall thoughts on how the offense has been operating and the defense.
Yeah, I think it's encouraging that they're meeting expectations offensively, but it's going to be hard to make any definitive statements until they play better opponents, especially in the Big Ten. And I spoke with Jimmy Doherty, the offensive coordinator, back during camp, and I know he had really high hopes for this unit with Damon Williams Jr. taking over as the full-time quarterback, and Jonah being back at running back, Denzel Boston he was really complimentary of, and their overall depth at wide receiver. So, Jed Fish's offenses, when they have these types of components in place, historically have been really good, and you're starting to see that, but let's see how they perform on the road. Let's see how they perform against some of the better Big Ten defenses on their schedule. What's really exciting for Washington, as you guys know, is some of their biggest games are there in Seattle.
Oh,
Washington will have an opportunity to pull off some big wins this year.
I hope one of them is against Ohio State, but Adam, I have a lot of nerves about that one. I wanted to talk about former Washington coach Kalen DeBoer, obviously now with Alabama, in the hot seat, certainly maybe entering the season and definitely after Florida State's win, was able to bounce back in week 2. What have you seen from his program this year?
Well, yeah, I think they needed that type of performance after just how lackluster they looked against Florida State. And, first games are hard. Sometimes you're going to come out and without a true preseason like you have in the NFL, it's difficult to really assess what the things that you have. I guess what would concern me, other than losing to another unranked opponent, was this issue about effort, the number of loafs that were identified by some of the analysts looking at the game, and that you guys probably know better than me, but I never felt that was a problem at Washington. So why is that happening at Alabama? Is it something that the message is just not sinking through? Is this a different type of player that Kalen and his staff are coaching that they need to take a different approach with? So I think we're going to learn a lot about Alabama going forward. Certainly this is a game this week against Wisconsin that they should be able to handle on their home field. And then they get, a couple of weeks to prepare for Georgia, which is a huge showcase opportunity. But it's been interesting, guys, because Kalen has some big wins at Alabama, including the win over Georgia. The problem for him has been these matchups against teams sometimes just better than that they haven't been able to take care of. And that just didn't happen very often under his predecessor, Nick Saban. And that's why Alabama fans are, again, spoiled, but rightfully so, because of how their coaches have taken care of business over the years.
Shifting it back to UW, what are realistic expectations for them this year as far as conference play and potentially making the college football playoff?
Right. So, I look at the Big Ten, and, I see three teams that seemingly have separated themselves, but it's still early on. And you're talking about, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon. And then it gets interesting, right? We have a game next week that's going to be really big, I think, in determining the Big Ten pecking order with Illinois, which is a fringe top 10 team, going to Indiana, which made the college football playoff. But then after that, I think it's wide open. Michigan, as we saw in their loss to Oklahoma, has some issues that they're still working through offensively with a young quarterback, with a new system, with a scheme that I think is still, being figured out by their players. So I think with Washington having what they have on offense and a second-year coach, a second-year staff, more comfort, some of their biggest games at home, they can really be in that next group. And if you are in that next group, you have a chance to do big things, including making the playoffs. So, after Illinois and Indiana, is it Nebraska? It's off to a good start. Is it Washington? Is it somebody else that can really put themselves in position to have a great season? Now, Washington's going to have to be more consistent. They're going to have to reduce penalties. They're going to have to play better on the road than they did last year. But you figure they have a chance to do that because there's a little bit more continuity in the program.
We didn't get a chance to talk to you, obviously, after Texas opened the season against Ohio State, but I still want to ask about your early impressions of Arch Manning.
Right. Again, I think I looked at this very much through the same lens that coaches I talked to did, which is we got to wait and see. I mean, even coming into the year, it was hard to get a great scouting report on him because, his only start in the SEC last year came against the worst team in the conference, and he made one other start against a Group of 5 opponent and was essentially like a change-up running type quarterback in any other game. So I looked at him as a first-year starter. He's a talented guy. He's a famous guy. I think he's handled the spotlight about as well as you can, and coaches have been really impressed with that part of it. But the hype around him, again, had just reached kind of ridiculous levels for a quarterback who had played that little at this level. So I'm interested to see how he performs after they get through this, non-conference stretch where they're not really going to be tested a whole lot. When he gets back into SEC play, Texas does not have the toughest schedule by any means in that conference. They miss most of the top opponents, but Oklahoma is now one that, that's a tough game. We'll see where Florida is by the time that Texas has to go to Gainesville. But Florida is still a talented opponent, yet they don't have Alabama. They don't have some of the other top teams on the schedule until the end when they have Georgia and Texas A&M. So I think that's when we'll have a better sense of where Arch is. But I think some of the early inconsistencies in that Ohio State game were not a major surprise.
I don't know how much you know about the most prestigious program in college football, Washington State, but I just your thoughts on their start. 2-0, beat Vandals 13-10. That was rough, kind of embarrassing, but then bounced back against San Diego State 36-13.
Yeah, I watched the end of that Idaho game, and that was certainly a big one for Washington State to win under a new coach to try to get off to a good start, and they certainly looked better last week. I think settling on their quarterback, settling on who their top personnel is going to be is really critical, and they obviously had a huge win last year over the Huskies, and we'll see if they can repeat that and then how they perform the rest of the year. I mean, Washington State, Oregon State's having a lot of problems right now, so they're certainly ahead of the Beavers, and we'll see just how good of a first season they can have.
Adam, you have a vote in the AP poll, right?
I do not. No,
okay.
I don't. Yeah, ESPN, it's very limited per media outlet.
Oh, okay.
We only, I think, Reese Davis votes and maybe somebody else.
Well, you should, but also, I'm assuming you saw the story, controversial vote there with Florida over South Florida. I read the separate column saying, like, hey, maybe the approach itself can get a little frustrating. Like, not a good vote there, but that, like, it's kind of maybe a flawed approach. Do you happen to have kind of like maybe not a pet peeve, but something that you think, like, what people do struggle with sometimes with this poll is we maybe overvalue this or undervalue something else?
Well, yeah, I mean, I put it out there that I don't like preseason polls. I don't like polls when we have such limited evidence to assess teams. But, if you have that vote, it's a responsibility to watch all the games, to study, to stay up late. I stay up for all the games every week, even though I don't have an AP poll. I have an AP vote because I vote in our power rankings, which is important in my mind to have that be as accurate as possible. And so, are some of these voters spread too thin with their primary responsibilities to cover teams? Are they truly paying attention to the national landscape? Because that's a hard one to justify, honestly, after what you just saw last week. And there's a couple of other examples. I know that one's been called out, but there's some other votes that are certainly head scratching. I do vote for the Heisman Trophy guys, and that's a process where I think there's too many voters. So maybe that's part of it too, is reducing the like who's voting and what else they have to do before they cast those votes, because it is important. The College Football Playoff Committee can say, we don't have our poll out until November, but they're certainly shaped by some of these rankings. They're all humans. They all look at the rankings week to week like the rest of us. So if you're going to do a poll this early, which again I don't love, you got to make sure that it's done as accurately as possible.
Agree with you. He's ESPN's Adam Rittenberg. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, guys.
Washington Wednesdays is presented by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West Best contractors. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
Seahawks make a move. Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Abe Lucas signs a 3-year, $46 million extension. How about that?
I've said I think he's the most spectacular offensive lineman until Ray Zabel takes over, because I fully expect that to happen. But when you watch Abe Lucas, it's like, look at this. He's always looking for extra work, or he's running downfield and blowing somebody up.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
In the Pacific Northwest, choose Star Rentals for construction equipment. With 18 locations, they deliver superior service and unmatched follow-through. Visit starrentals.com. Star Rentals, the preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open, and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
Whoa! Jason Kelsey just found out that NFL Sunday Ticket now lets you subscribe month to month.
Yeah!
He just realized you can join and cancel anytime.
Ha-ha! Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now he just found $1 in the sofa.
Yeah!
And he just saw a great parking spot open up. Look, just because Jason's easily excited doesn't make NFL Sunday Ticket month to month any less great. Right, Jason?
Yeah.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket month to month and cancel anytime. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Renews every month during the 2025 regular season. Cancel anytime. Terms and embargoes apply. No refunds. Commercial use excluded.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to GNC.com.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor
is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, grade. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, it's Shannon O'Kelly from IRG, and Wednesday, September 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk all about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, September 17th at 6 p.m. to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. When will Derek Young be back? And will this week's game be enough for him to get a few more offensive snaps?
I don't know when he'll be back. I'll check the injury report.
Which isn't out yet, so we don't know yet. But, okay, here's my question for you. I'm going to do a spin on it. We were lamenting on Monday, man, you need more from your receivers, just more from pass catchers in general. Maybe it's your tight ends getting involved. Does Jake Bobo and Derek Young coming back make that easier? Because I'm looking at Cooper Kupp, right? I'm looking at Torrey Horton, not necessarily at Bobo and Derek Young, but what does the return of 2 potential targets mean for maybe making it better?
It don't mean much.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried.
Unfortunately,
that's okay.
It don't mean much.
Fair. 866-979-3776. What about getting Tyreek Hill from the Dolphins?
He brings a lot of baggage with him. See, his ex-wife, he just put 8 other domestic violent charges in. Now, innocent until proven guilty. But a player like that would help. But there's some other stuff that comes with it.
Here's what I find interesting about that is people were saying Micah Parsons' personality would be a little too much for the team. And he's not run into like legal troubles or whatever. And Hill is incredibly talented, but I found it very interesting, the number of people that are like, oh, obviously Tyreek Hill. at him. That will make you better. It's like, I can see your argument, but I am surprised that there's no apprehension about.
I think it's because they see more of a need at receiver than pass rusher.
Yeah. Let's see. 866-979-3776. You got a 10 a.m. start for this one. What's the best game food for a 10 a.m. game? Is it too early for wings?
Maybe.
Great question.
But not too early for mimosas and Bloody Marys.
Yeah. Well, you're very limited. It's like a Bloody Mary mimosa at 10 a.m. feels completely appropriate. But it's still alcohol. But something like if someone had a beer at 10 a.m., I'd be like, you're crazy. What are you doing?
I would.
Bloody Mary? Yeah, that makes sense. Of course. At 10 a.m.?
People tailgate all the time at 10 a.m.
Sure, tailgating, but you'd never go to a breakfast place.
Yeah.
Can I get
Stacey,
pancakes and then a beer?
We live two different lives.
No, you wouldn't.
Your friends are way different than my friends. We are definitely cracking beers at 10 a.m.
What?
Yes.
For what?
For the game.
Well, what about if it's not for the game?
That's different. If we're just sitting around, you know what?
You know why?
If we're on a golf trip, we don't stop drinking.
7 a.m. tea time.
We're drinking.
6 a.m. tea time.
Nah, I'll chill for a little bit. I'll wait till 7.
Wait until 7, of course, obviously. Let's see. What I need to know. Trev, UPS driver, said, I'll say this game is kind of must win. I'll turn it into a question. You feel that way?
Yeah. Who they got after this?
Week 3 back here. God, I'm blanking. I should know this. I know the Texans are early.
1 week at a time. That's the way to go.
You have the Saints.
You can start 0-2 and pull back together with the Saints and the Cardinals. You just don't want to be flirting with 0-3 because most teams don't make the playoffs when they start 0-3.
What I need to know. I'm from SoCal, but visit Seattle once a year, and I always enjoy the touristy spots. As a Seattle native, are there any touristy spots you still like going to?
No.
Not like a Pike Place Market. You know what?
No.
Pike Place Market can be fun. Years. Never in my life have I gone to Pike Place Market to I got to get some produce. You know?
Nah.
It's too much.
No.
It's chaotic.
People actually go there to buy produce, though.
Well, yeah, I guess if you live downtown, great. Or if you, I don't know, I'm sure there are people that make the commute. To me, it's incredibly chaotic. It's overwhelming. There's too much going on. QFC is down the street from my house, and that's just easier. Also, have you ever gotten stuck driving down that street?
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Never again. I regret every day I did that. What I need to know, will the Mariners re-sign Naylor?
They'll try.
Gut right now.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I think he'll test free agency.
He will. He has to.
Yeah. Let's see. What I need to know. Let's see. Everyone's just disappointed I'm not having a beer early. What are you guys talking about?
Stacy's not having a beer
ever
throughout the day.
Morning, noon, or night.
I'll have a hard seltzer.
She's never shotgun a beer in her life. Have you ever shotgun a beer?
No.
You know what that is?
Yes.
All right.
You pierce the bottom of the can and then you drink it fast.
Okay.
But that seems hard. But I know some people do it really fast.
Yeah.
But
it's called Cougs.
Win or lose?
We booze.
Okay. Let's see what I need to know. How long is the leash you give Reek Woolen in this one? Make a mistake. Josh go.
2 mistakes. It's more than just not making the play. It's being out of position and not being locked in. There are a lot of things that coaches look at.
What I need to know, the wife and I are going to Vegas. One thing I gotta see.
One thing you gotta see?
Yeah.
Just stand in front of the Bellagio and watch the water show that they put on every hour or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe go to the Sphere.
That's expensive.
I don't know who's performing in the Sphere.
You better be ready to spend a band.
What?
Sphere is expensive.
Is that $100?
It's $1,000.
What? Oh, so bands that make her dance is $1,000.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm learning all kinds of things.
Well, the band wraps the hundreds
all together.
Yeah, so it's a band.
$1,000 to go to the Sphere.
For 2, you're gonna spend at least $4 something on a ticket a piece.
for
whatever.
regular seats.
For NSYNC, for whatever's performing there, minimum.
Oh my
I
God.
think it's Backstreet Boys right now.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. What would you change about NFL player conduct policy on the field? For instance, for me, says this listener, instead of fighting each other where there's conflict, I do wish the accepted thing would be for them to fight a little bit like hockey.
Nah, it get out of control.
Yeah.
Too many bodies out there. It's not part of the culture, really. Like hockey culture, they fight, and when it's done, it's done. Like football is gonna be out of control. You're gonna add 30 minutes to the game.
Yeah, you gotta. No.
It's too much.
I mean, general rule of thumb, I think, should be not to spit on other players. Just kind of, I think, how you should live your life. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
The area of the team we were most curious about, Wyman and Bob, was the offense. Every afternoon at 2.
I thought it was going to be closer to what it looked like against Kansas City with being able to run the ball. It seemed awfully conservative, and I don't know if that's, hey, let's just dip our toe in the water and get our feet wet here. It just seemed like the play calling was very safe for the most part. They're just not playing together right now.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handle employees. Lee Johnson, coming out of his office as a customer, asked me where the service department is. I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, man, come with me. Let me show you. And then having him come back and not dress me down is just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, That's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, across the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today.